All right, we're live.
All right.
Okay, once again, so you people can see the pretty face and the fucking beard of glory. Then again, I fucked up. I
Mm.
got some computer problems. I'm eating pizza, drinking beer. I'm doing this with my iPhone. Fucking technology. Nick, go ahead.
Yeah, man, Freddie fucked up. He's eating pizza right now, but I'm gonna introduce you guys to Cable. He's pretty much our fucking uncle we never had, and he lets us touch his beard, and he gives us good advice on life when we're too dumb and stupid to figure shit out on our own. So,
G'day
Yeah,
everyone, what's going on?
and he's Australian too, so don't fuck with him, man. He'll kick your ass.
yeah, fucking don't
I
fuck with
like
it.
I like it. Yeah,
Don't
so
fuck with it.
over here I'm in Melbourne in Australia. It's like 4 o'clock on Monday morning, 4 a.m. right now. So yeah, it's all good. I'm looking forward to it, guys. I'm looking forward to the chat. I was listening to you guys speaking with Boe the other day, or just yesterday, and afterwards I was kind of it was so fucking hilarious. He was good, and I kind of like went on. I was looking at his like 2013 video, where he got the fucking car, like he got
That's
the
pretty
Lamborghini
dope,
and
man.
drove the Lamborghini. It's like fuck, so fucking awesome.
Yeah,
You guys have
yeah,
had
And
man.
he got it on film too. I'm like, damn, they got to let him
yeah.
film it and everything.
Yeah, you guys have had
Yeah,
some cool fucking guests, so
Yeah.
I'm
we,
fucking, I'm honored to be on. I'm honored.
yeah.
Hey, who
That's
else
how
do
we
we
do
have,
it,
man? We
Cable.
had Alex, and I think Alex, Dustin, and Bobby, and that's it so
Yeah.
far. And now Cable.
I haven't
Now
seen, I haven't
Cable.
seen, I haven't seen Big Dustin's one. I
We
haven't seen
gotta
it.
we gotta upload it. It's not uploaded yet.
You
Yeah.
guys, I thought you guys were pros.
Dude, listen to this, man. When you listen to that one, we'll put it up sometime this week. Dude, just keep in mind Freddie's uncle. That's all I can
Go
say.
fuck yourself, Nick.
Freddie, do you have a really friendly uncle, dude?
Freddie's
What's going on with
uncle,
that,
man.
man?
Dude, don't fucking mention my uncle ever again, Nick. I'm gonna fucking stab you someday.
Just keep
Nah,
that
Sounds
in
like you
mind
hit
when
him
you're
kind of,
listening, man.
sounds like you kind of hit him close to the mark, man, to get him all riled up like that.
nah, man. I've heard that shit a fucking million times by now.
The
And
whole we just can't make it fun of Freddie and his uncle, and like everything we talked about would go back to it. Like we'd totally change the topic, and I'm like, you know what this kind of reminds me of? Freddie's uncle. And Freddie's like, fuck you, man.
yeah, you gotta fucking see it to understand it.
Yeah.
But
But
fucking
yeah.
Cable, man. I'm excited to have you on. I gotta say I'm honored myself. And
Thanks, man.
I truly gotta say, man, I've never met a man like with a beard like you, except Nick has when he saw the fucking stalker in L.A. We never got that
I have a
up.
fucking beard, man.
Not a
Yeah,
beard,
the photo.
the
The photo
photo.
up on the forums, yeah. That
Yeah.
that got a lot of traction on the forums.
Yeah.
People
So
people enjoyed that.
Dude, I'm so surprised that guy didn't see me take that picture. Like, I just took it in front of his face because I had to. It was ridiculous. I'm like, with the fucking phone, but he was looking down, so we didn't see it.
Yeah,
you,
people walking around these days, people don't pay attention to anything, huh?
No,
Like it's
man.
just
when you got a beard like yours, Cable, you gotta fucking watch out because people are gonna take pictures, man, and fucking jerk off to that shit.
Dude, I
yeah.
had something funny to me happen the other week. I was walking and I just ate dinner and I was walking in the street corner and I see across the street there's a midget and I don't see
Right.
midgets that often, so I'm like, oh, I got to get a picture. And the midget, the midget, the midget crosses the street and she's a
Yeah.
to me, and then I realized I can take a picture really easily because it just looks like I'm sending a text message because I can point it out.
And it's also
So
like, what's
just
she
I'm
gonna
standing
do?
there like just taking a ton of pictures of this midget and she's right under me.
Like, also, it's like, what's she gonna do, man? Like, what's she gonna do? You know, like
Yeah.
you're
Fucking punch me in my balls, man. That's actually.
you're like headbutt you fucking groin, just like.
Oh,
Fucking suck your dick without your permission, man.
Freddie's a little bit off the wall today, man.
Dude, I'm eating. I'm eating. Give me a fucking minute. Give
He's
me
off,
10 minutes.
he's off the wall here, man. He's got his face full of pizza. He's all fucking happy because he met some hippie chick last night. He's trying to look.
Shout out.
Dude,
Shout out.
can you see Freddie's picture right here?
Yeah, with
The
the
fucking
flex
yeah,
thing.
the flex right here, man. He's like,
Yeah.
I'm just scratching my head.
Cocksucker, man.
Look, Freddie, I mean, we're not ragging on you. We just all know that pose because we pull it so much, you know.
Yeah,
But
man, it's like,
yeah,
what's up, girl?
Yo,
Oh,
Cape.
my neck itches.
Sometimes, when you have an arm like that, you gotta fucking show it off, man. You
Yeah,
gotta love it.
absolutely.
you gotta
Couldn't
I
have
gotta,
agree more.
the arms.
gotta let the people know who the fuck they're dealing with, you know?
It's okay, but what's been going on in Melbourne, man?
um, yeah, man. It's just going from like summertime to it's just kind of coming into winter. So the whole city is just kind of like getting a bit colder, getting a bit rainier, which is a little bit weird. Um, yeah, we just had the Grand Prix here with the car races the other day. My alarm is going off, not anymore. Yeah, so that's what's happening in Melbourne. Melbourne's a really cool place. Yeah, I know a lot of people would really love to kind of like come and hang out because it's just like a cool place. But yeah, when it's in winter, like winter is kind of long. That's kind of like the one drag of the whole place.
So, the winter just started, or
It's
what are you
just
talking
starting.
about?
It's just starting.
So, that's crazy because up in Norway, it's like about to be finished
Yeah, same
and
here.
go into summertime, you know?
Yeah, yeah. Well, you know, Southern Hemisphere, how that shit works.
You guys are all backwards.
Yeah, that's,
The water in the toilet bowl goes this way.
What?
yeah, because it's on the other side of
Yeah,
the equator.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's funny, right?
Wait,
So
Like,
does it go clockwise or counterclockwise? Because I
I
can't
don't know
figure it
which
out from
way's
which way.
which. I don't know which way's which,
Like
but it goes the other way.
a clock, clockwise goes the way a clock goes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
yeah,
So I don't know if that's northern or southern hemisphere, but that's one of them. We're different down here.
I've never paid attention to which way the toilet bowl goes, so I wouldn't know.
yo, Cable, another thing about you, man, is you got some fucking criminal, man, in your blood, definitely. Or did you move?
Well, yeah, for me, there's some criminal, there's some English people, but there's also, but yeah, my family's also a good part Dutch as well. So it's like,
Yeah,
you know, like just over the past, like the last generation, like my dad's Dutch,
okay.
so I got a lot of that. That's why I'm tall and good looking, and
Beer of
yeah.
glory.
Yeah. That's all. That's all from the Dutch side of things. So,
Got fucking
yeah,
arms like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
yeah,
Yeah.
man. No, not me, man. That's not me at the moment.
Yeah, Freddie, what the fuck are you talking about, man?
Hey, don't underestimate yourself, Cable.
Yeah, seriously,
I
man.
fucking seen you, man.
That dude's making some more movies.
Dude,
No,
I saw The Last Stand like a couple of weeks ago, and
yeah.
that dude is still fucking slinging dick. Man, it's like
This is a Schwarzenegger movie.
yeah, The Last Stand it's called.
Is it new?
Like it's totally new. And it's like one scene where he goes through like the roof and he falls down through like a restaurant or some shit, and the guy asks him, "How's it going?" He goes, "No, how are you?" Or no, dude, I'm always fucking mixed it up. How do you feel?
You fucking ruined the story, man.
Forget about the fucking story. Just see the movie, man. It's a good one.
Dude, Freddie, I watched on YouTube the other day. It was a YouTube video when it was all the times in the Django Unchained where they said nigger.
Oh,
So replay it. It's one part of Samuel Jackson. He's outside and he's like, "This nigga here."
That's a fucking brilliant movie.
Dude, but I didn't have in that part the she ain't no house, nigga.
Yeah. Oh, he didn't.
They didn't have it, man. He missed it.
Fuck, man, they slipped up. They fucked up.
Man, that movie was a vicious movie. And you know what? I watched that movie with in Thailand. When Tim and I had flown into fucking Phuket, and we are getting this fucking bus ride, aka this fucking van of shit, all the way
Yeah.
across the fucking continent, and we're crammed in together, just like fucking and we are like, this is the time to watch a movie. So we pulled out Django Unchained, and it was just fucking. It was a good way to spend a few hours. Like fucking vicious
Yeah.
though, like fucking vicious.
Dude, yeah,
Yeah.
he pulls out the violence at the end, man. I was just like, whoa.
Yeah. Fucking blood everywhere.
The second that one guy gets shot, it's on, dude. That one, right when that guy got shot, I realized
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, dude, this is Quentin Tarantino movie. This is fucking going down right now, man. This is gonna be a bloodbath.
It took a while for me to kind of like get accepting of the violence and just the fucking horrific kind of nature of the whole film. Like in the beginning, I was just kind of like, this is unacceptable, you know. Like, I just was not pleased with the kind of like the level of depravity that the movie was going into. But then you just got to kind of like settle into it, and by the end, it's like, oh yeah, fuck
Oh
you,
Yeah.
you know.
I fucking love that movie from beginning to the end, man. Quentin Tarantino, man, he could sell me anything. Yeah.
I don't know what that means.
Are you coming out of the
Fucking
closet, Freddie? Like, what is that?
Nick, I'm gonna fucking stab you someday. I promise. This guy. Oh, dudes, I have a fucking like talking about me, cocksuckers. I'll give it to you. So
What is
okay.
that for it,
Anyway,
man?
like last night, I was in a like a birthday party, you know,
Mhm.
and we hit the bars around 1 o'clock. So I was with like 4 girls,
Of course.
and one of them she was so drunk she had to like puke and some shit, and the other girl followed me to the bars, and she had to take a piss, you know. So when I got into the bar, I was all alone, and I just walk into the dance floor by myself. I'm fucking looking around. Is there any hotties around here?
Mhm.
And this guy comes up to me, like it's crowded in the dance floor, and this guy comes up to me. He goes, "Hey," and he just tries to introduce himself. I'm like, "Okay, cool." And then I just like turn my back. I told him my name and everything. Nice to meet you. And I turn my back to him, and I start thinking, what the fuck did he want with me? Then I back to him because I'm thinking this dude, or actually there were two of them. So I'm
Yeah.
thinking these motherfuckers might want to fight me, and I don't want to be punched in like from behind. So I turn around and I go, "Hey, what's up? Like, what do you want from me?"
Yeah.
Because you guys from LA and fucking Melbourne might not be familiar with this shit, but in Norway, man, you don't have to fuck up too much to get a fucking punch in the face, you know?
Right.
Okay, anyways, I turn around and I ask him what's up, and he goes, "You're gay, right?" To me. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, man? I'm not gay. Goes to show, man. I dress like a fucking homo, obviously.
So why was he asking you that? Was he also gay?
Yeah, I would think so, man, because he looked kind of gay and dancing with a fucking either he was a fucking chode or a fag. I don't know, man.
Well, a
I'm a
chode's not going to come up to you and ask you if you're gay.
like, but a chode might like be close dancing with a friend of his.
All right.
Uh, my
Gotcha.
fuck, my fucking point is, either I'm attractive to the gays or I dress like a fucking homo.
watch it, man.
Big problem.
So we're gonna leave that one there.
Yeah, we'll leave it there, man. We'll let Freddie ponder on that shit for the next couple of days.
Free man.
Do you need any help with this, Freddie? Like, we can talk about this now. Like, let's talk about it. Do you want to talk about
Freddie,
it?
man, if you ask us any questions about it, you want to, man.
Let's go deep. Let's go deep with this shit. So I'm thinking.
Okay, well, like Freddie, like, have you ever, like, how close to gay are you? Because like a lot of
Fuck, man, I'm gay. Fuck, what are you talking about? I'm not gay at all.
Freddie, listen, it's all right if you are. We're not gonna judge you, man. You could talk about it on there, man. It's cool, dude. We'll still be your friends.
because a lot of people would say that look, I don't think that there's like 100% like straight and gay thing. There's like a people are on some kind of continuum, you know what I mean? And yeah, like if this guy's asking you that, like do you feel like you're pretty close to like 100% straight, or like have you ever been attracted to a guy?
Let me put it this way.
Nick knows what's coming. He knows what's coming.
Freddie, you don't gotta be all manly man about it here. We know you. It's cool, dude. You can just tell us the truth.
Fucking psychiatric, fucking Nick. Okay, so there's like 0% gay in me.
Okay.
Freddie, you never been doing jiu-jitsu and you're just rolling with some guy and he grabs you by the neck and your dick just gets hard, nothing like that?
Oh, fuck, man. You fucking
Just like, wow.
Hey, Kable, he does do jiu-jitsu, man. He's rolling around with these guys all day long and shit,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. You know why I do that, Nick?
It's just like, I really hope this guy accidentally sits on my face or something.
Yeah.
I don't think I can do this shit, man. I gotta start keeping my mouth shut about this gay stuff.
You gotta be careful what you bring up here, man.
No, man, because the fucking thing is, the reason this fucking gay guy came up to me is, number one, I was all alone at the dance floor. Number two, I'm fucking handsome as shit. That's all it is.
Okay.
But I think there's gotta be some sort of vibe you give off also.
Yeah. You think so?
Like I suck dick type vibe,
Like, fucking kill you if you touch me vibe.
Right. Again, Freddie, man, I'm noticing a lot of defensiveness here.
Yeah, man, that's the first sign.
Yeah.
I
don't
just
know.
want you to know that, like, with me, like, I know that, like, me and all the SSM crew, like, there's always a lot of love, regardless.
Yeah.
So whatever you decide to do, Freddie.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna stick
SSM
with
for life, man.
I think I'm gonna stick with pussy, guys.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, let's switch this fucking subject, man. You're killing me over here.
Hey, Freddie, man, we're just trying to help you figure out your way and your path in life, man,
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely is not sucking dick, that's for sure.
No, yeah, it's funny, Freddie. Like, when I started kind of getting into the game, which was only about a year and a half ago, like when I started going back out to the clubs and everything, people would ask me all the time if I was gay, and I think it was just partly because of how I was kind of like coming off in the club with, like, not being completely comfortable, like with intent and everything, and not being I think it was definitely part of that, because it definitely doesn't happen anymore. And definitely, but it definitely used to happen, and it would kind of really fucking piss me off, because it was just like, look, no, but fuck, you don't. It was just frustrating because it was happening like every couple of weeks,
I don't think that's ever really happened to me.
Yeah.
One thing people always do say though is like, oh man, you're wasted, and I don't even really drink. Like happened last night too. Some guy's like, dude, you're fucked up, man. And I'm like, no, I'm not. And he's like, yeah, dude, I could see it in your face. I'm like, no, I'm not, man. Like that always happens, man. Like, dude, you're fucking drunk. Or chicks be like, you're drunk. And I'm like, no, I'm not. Like, I could tell. I'm like, no, I don't really fucking drink at all. They're like, yeah, you are, man. I'm like, all right, I am. Fuck, you caught me off guard.
Yeah.
That's because you're fucking crazy, Nick.
Kind of.
But yeah, like the gay shit, man. It happened to me 3 times, and I don't know why it happens, but I don't I don't really give a fuck, man. It's kind of funny, you know.
Yeah.
But unless like guys start touching you, it ain't a problem, you know. If they start touching you, you gotta do some fucking jujitsu on them, choke the shit, break your arm, jerk yourself off. I don't know. I'm going
Yeah.
crazy over it.
All right, that's all good, Freddie. We understand.
Yeah. Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah.
So yeah, Cable, tell me about this. How do you get into the game and all that stuff?
Yeah,
Uh,
Cable, I wanted to, we don't talk about it now, but somewhere along the lines here, I just want to hear like a Cable's, I asked Alex this when we interviewed him too, like a
yeah, yeah.
Cable's like life story, man. Where'd you come from?
Yeah.
And you're older than us, so you probably have a lot more in between there, but like how did you get to be the way that you are right now? You know, like I remember
Yeah.
asking Alex that because he's a fucking interesting dude. Like Dustin's pretty normal. Me and Freddie are pretty normal, but you're like a motherfucking badass with a beard and you lived on a farm and shit. I'm like, what's the deal?
Right. Well, yeah, we can do that now. We can do that now and then get into the game shit. So, interesting life story. All right. So, yeah, like I grew up in the country and it was kind of like, on this island and,
Wait, so you lived on an island?
yeah, yeah. It's not a big deal because like there's a bridge there and everything.
Okay.
But it was just like, kind of grew up there, pretty kind of country kind of area, like, pretty kind of rural, like, so it's kind of isolated. So I didn't really have any friends around or anything like that. Um, my mom and my dad, just kind of like, pretty normal, kind of like, kind of like pretty middle class, but also, yeah, pretty isolated. It's like, I didn't have any friends within like a half an hour car drive from anywhere. So it was kind of like a lot of the time, like I was growing up, was kind of like by myself, And I was also the oldest. Like I got a little brother and a little sister, and so I've been reading a lot over the past, like, well, not a lot, a little about like birth order and how that affects personality. And it's like,
Yeah,
and
remember we
like,
talked about this in
Yeah,
Thailand.
in Thailand.
yeah, yeah. I think I read it just before Thailand. Yeah, and so for me, it's like I'm definitely got a lot of the stereotype kind of older characteristics,
I
like kind
think
of like
all of us here are the oldest ones, me, you, and Freddie.
Yeah.
really,
Yeah.
mm. Yeah. I think a lot of the business stuff kind of really correlates with that, and taking kind of like calculated risks, and being leaders and all the rest of that shit. Anyway, so I stayed down there until I was like 18, and then I was just like, what did I do at high school? Do you guys want to know what I did at high
Yeah,
school?
fuck
Yeah,
yeah, that's
definitely.
most important, man.
So at high school, I was just kind of like, I just played basketball, really. That's all I did. Like, I just played basketball and just like got pretty good, and like ended up like playing, like playing for the state and all that type of stuff, and like under 14s, and just like really kind of hard going at that. So, yeah, and that was kind of like how I kind of like, that was like my little identity, like cable basketball guy, and
Yeah.
so that was cool.
Did you have a
Then
beard back then?
I did have a bit. No, I didn't.
Go on, man.
Yeah, yeah. And so, after that, it was kind of like, I was in the car one day, and my parents both left school when they were like 14, right? My dad,
Yeah.
because his parents were just, they were essentially refugees from Holland after the Second World War.
Yeah.
So my dad had to quit school when he was like 13 or 14 to go and work on the farm,
Oh yeah.
and kind of like, build their farm empire. And my mum had to leave school because I think she just wanted to. And so I remember like I was in like my mum was like driving me to basketball training, and I was like 14, and I was kind of like I had no idea what the fuck I was doing with life or anything like that. I was like 14 or 15, my mum was like, what do you want to do, with school? And I was like, I don't know, I just want to play basketball. And then she was like, you know what, if you want to quit school and just, go and get a job, like that's totally okay with you, Dad and me. And I was kind of like, I don't think I want to do that. No way. Like, I don't want to hang around here. I want to go into the city and I want to kind of like, get myself educated at uni, and I want to go and see like the bigger world and everything. And it was kind of like the first kind of like major life decision that I got to make for myself. And it was kind of like, yeah, it was a really big deal because a lot of my friends kind of like stayed back there and did that kind of thing. And it's like, stayed and worked on a farm or worked on, became a fucking car salesman or, became a fucking pregnancy man or something. And yeah, I was just like, no, that's not for me. Like I could have gone and do some shit. I mean, just getting girls pregnant. Yeah.
So yeah. I know what you mean then, but yeah. So basically, back then you decided to do something with your life.
Yeah, like I didn't know what it was going to be or anything, but I knew that didn't want to just be hanging around in this it's this town called Wonthaggi, and I didn't want to be hanging around there, and it was just kind of like, I'm sure you
Kable, how
guys.
did you get your name?
It's just my first name.
Is there anything behind that?
Apparently it's Welsh. Yeah, like there's this. Yeah, apparently it's Welsh, and my mum and dad were just like watching TV one night when they were pregnant, and saw my name was like the name of like the third cameraman or something, and Kable Johnson or something, and they were like, oh yeah, that looks cool. And then
So it's
I love it, man.
such deep meaning to it.
yeah. I always tell that story to girls in the club and like, make it like it's her and I, like we're lying in bed and like watching the film and everything. It works pretty well.
Cool, man. So now you're fucking moving to the big city, man.
So yeah, then I moved to the big city, got into got into uni, moved into the big city, started partying a lot, kind of moved in on campus, and so independence, fucking like had like a little bit of money, and just like just basically just went crazy, and like nearly failed failed half the subjects in first year, and just like partied hard, and it was really like that was really like the full formative experience for me, like I was like 18, and I remember seeing this guy walking around, and he was just like pretending to be the man, and I could just see him pretending to be the man, and I was just like, and everyone was kind of like, he was just like the coolest guy, and I was just like, oh, I'm just going to be the man then. And so I was just kind of like took on that, and was just kind of like, oh, I'm not even going to pretend that, I'm just going to let everyone know. And it was just kind of like, I guess that was like another kind of like really big kind of like life kind of realization. It's just like you are what you think you are, like if you think you're going to kind of like, if you assume that you're going to make shit happen and, do it all, it's just like you will. But if you kind of like sit back there and you're like, oh, I don't know, it's just kind of like, so I just assumed the role of kind of like massive party social guy on campus, like massive party social drunk guy on campus, and it was awesome. And it was really kind of like, you guys know what I mean when I say formative kind of fucking years, yeah?
Yeah.
Like I noticed that a few of the guys in Thailand, it was a very kind of like similar experience to that. It's kind of like, maybe the first time a lot of the guys had kind of like independence, first time that guys have kind of like had been around people that they really connect with, that kind of stuff. And yeah, that's what the first couple of years of uni was like for me, definitely. Yeah, it was just fucking lots of alcohol, lots of partying. Just, I cannot overstate the partying. Like I remember at some point just trying to not drink for like, 5 days. And it was just kind of like, I did it, but it was just kind of like hard not to do it. Like it was difficult not to do it.
Yeah.
And it was interesting because the place that I was staying at also had like 50% international students. So it was like half Australian students and then like 200 international students, like fucking Norwegian people, fucking Yanks, Canadians, Asian people, Indian people. So it was kind of like, that was like one of the first times I'd kind of like been exposed to people outside of Australia, which was kind of like
It's
a good
interesting,
thing.
man. You realize like, oh shit, Australians aren't the only motherfuckers on the planet, or whatever. You're like, oh, these people are like, they're different at a deep level. There's something deep down that's a lot
Yeah,
different.
but also the same, man. Also the same.
Also,
Same, same, but different, Same,
Same
same.
but different. Yeah.
motherfucking Thai people.
So
Fucking
yeah.
right.
So that was kind of cool. And what? Yeah, got myself my first little not my first girlfriend, but one of my first girlfriends on there, and that was kind of like the end. I think it was the end
First
of first
time,
year.
first time you ate a pussy.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that
Yeah,
was.
Cable, man. A little intermission here, man. What is it like if I don't know if you do this, man, but if you're eating a chick's pussy with that fucking beard, man,
Yeah.
are you giving her a rash down there?
I don't ask. I don't ask if I'm given like it doesn't look like it. Like
Does that
usually they
shit
don't
just turn
really
fucking red, like fox hairs and shit?
Look, man, I had not noticed that, and I've never had any kind of like
Come-
I
I
figured
haven't
one.
I haven't had any kind of comments about that or any kind of like I haven't heard anything other than like, oh, keep going, like, so
When I
yeah.
had
Have
the
you ever
mustache,
had
chicks
like
would be
shit?
like, "Oh, it fucking hurts me when I kiss you, or whatever. Or it's all fucking weird." And I just had a mustache, man. You got a fucking beard.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is though, when it grows out past a certain length, it gets kind of all soft and cute,
Ah,
so it's okay.
I got you,
Oh
man.
yeah, you
But
get a little
that's just
cuddly.
a shit test when they say that to you. Like it hurts me. It's just like what?
Yeah, I know,
No.
but I mean, one of my friends who's kind of, he swings both ways. He told me the same thing.
He told you
What?
the rash thing.
Not a rash, but he's like, "Oh yeah, it's annoying."
Oh.
So, oh yeah, like so he's bifile.
My file.
Go fuck yourself, man. My English is slipping. Bye,
He,
whatever.
he can file two papers at one time, man.
I
Fine.
like by file. I like by file. I like.
What did they come from? Pedophile?
No, in Norway we just say bifil. And I just figured, man, it's easy translation. So what do you call it? Swing it both ways?
Yeah, that's good. That's good. I
But
like
yeah, man,
that.
at the end of the day, who gives a fuck, dude? You make that bitch love it.
Exactly.
That's
It's
what I
like what
say,
is
dude. Like whatever it is, man, you love it. Whatever the fuck it is, man. You got a small dick, you got fucking I don't know what you got. You got three nipples, man. You make that shit like the bitch like
You make that
you just
bitch
assume
fucking
it,
eat
and
them
if
all.
like there's any questions, it's like what? What are you talking about? What? Are you kidding?
But it's
I just usually go like she's like, your mustache hurts me, and I'm just like and it's like, how do you even respond to that? What?
Do you want me to shave it off right now?
yeah, there's nothing to say,
Yeah.
man. Just
No.
fucking rock that mustache.
I just say, man, whatever it is, dude, you gotta love it, man.
Gotta love it. It's the way to go.
That's what it comes down
Yeah,
to. Whatever the fuck it is, man, you gotta love it, man.
Yeah.
Cable, please
Yeah,
continue,
Freddie.
man. I want to hear this shit. All the way. Keep it
All right.
going, man.
So we're at college now.
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
at
so college,
college.
so college was great, like just massive partying, and I kind of like really assumed the role of kind of like massive party
Okay,
leader
but let
man.
me ask you this about it. Would you actually be the one like to host the parties, or would you just kind of go into the parties?
I know, like towards the end, like it was definitely hosting and like organizing and making shit happen, and yeah,
Because I was
yeah,
thinking about kind of doing that recently. I've never really like had my own place to have parties at, but now I kind of do, and I'm just like, I don't know where to fucking start. You know what I mean? It's just like I've never done it before, but I'm used to
yeah,
just going places, so
yeah,
So
see what happens.
just use Facebook, man.
I don't have Facebook.
Ah, that's right.
yeah. So this is all kind of like this is back in like when was it? This is like early 2000s. Like I'm 30, I turned 32 the other day. So this is like,
Happy birthday
Birthday
to
to you.
so this is like,
Happy birthday
Birthday. Oh,
this
fuck.
is like 12 years ago or something, you know? So this is kind of like pre-Facebook and pre kind of like no one organized shit online or anything. So it was all in person.
Yeah, but
Sorry?
Gotta make it
once you
happen.
say, once you tell somebody you got a party, people are coming. I've had a couple of parties at home, so
People are coming.
People are coming.
No pun intended.
okay, man.
But
Yeah.
what I was gonna ask you about, asking about the party thing, but I guess that you kind of know what to do. You just fucking invite people and
You
have
just invite
alcohol.
people, and
It's not that
sometimes
hard.
sometimes it's a little bit scary because people are like, if you haven't hosted a party, it's kind of people are kind of like, oh, I don't know if anyone will come, but then
Yeah.
people come and it's cool. But yeah,
Fucking
so it's kind
Nick
of
is
like
afraid. Nick is afraid to sit all by himself, fucking crying himself to sleep, man, all alone.
Have this fucking
no one wants
bottle of
that.
alcohol all alone and nobody here.
Just set yourself on fire. No one wants that.
No, but like if nobody came, then I'd be like, oh, I'll just go to the bars by myself. Like, I mean, that's option B, right? Fuck it, that's what I usually do.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, so yeah, college party, girls, all the rest of it. So it was really kind of like my first kind of like taste of all that, and it was really good. Um, and then, I kind of like got more and more into the organizing side of things with that, and just got more and more into the organizing things and not so much into the actual partying things. And I also realized that I didn't want to fail everything anymore. So I actually started going to class and, like paying attention and not being like wasted all the time. So I kind of like slowly became a lot more like academically focused and like yeah, basically got to the point like a couple of years after that where I was basically like totally asocial, like not going out at all, not seeing people, just like really being like pretty insular and like and just being like really 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 like academic and focusing on yeah. What is that
Hmm.
sound? Are you guys getting that sound?
Yeah, I think that's
We're just
Freddy's
ignoring that sound.
Ignore it.
Sounds pretty good to me, Cable. So,
Yeah, yeah. So then kind of like then basically I finished uni and I decided to go work in this hospital. And I was working like my degree was like as a podiatrist, which is like a doctor for people's legs and feet. And I really loved studying, like I loved studying that. And I thought it was the coolest thing to study, and it was just like the best.
okay.
And I really loved like my whole self image was like, oh, I'm going to be this like foot doctor now. This is what I'm going to do for the rest of my life. And, like I had it all planned out for like the next 50 years of my professional life. And it was all kind of like awesome and kind of like I remember actually telling people I was like, you know what? I'm just really glad that I've got this part of my life handled. So now I can go and like do other stuff because I just don't need to worry about my career at all because I've got it completely handled. And it was kind of
Yeah.
like awesome. And then I started working, and I was just like, "This fucking sucks. Like this
So
fucking
how
sucks."
old were you at this time? What age is
Like
this at?
it's like mid 20s, mid to late 20s. I think it was 26 or 27.
So did you get like a master's degree or a graduate's degree, or did you just
It's
get
just
your
undergrad. It was just an
okay?
undergrad degree.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. So it was just kind of like I was just like, "This fucking sucks," and it was kind of like it was
From the
hard not only
get-go,
huh.
like right when you started, you totally
The
hated
first
it.
day, the first day you're like this fucking.
Pretty much, pretty much.
Oh
But it
shit.
was just, yeah. But it was just kind of like, you can't let that shit. Like I wouldn't kind of like let myself admit that. I wouldn't like admit that to myself because it was just kind of like, it just sucked so hard, and it also
Yeah.
meant that like I just had to kind of like question everything in my life, and like everything in my life was kind of like wrong because that's all I based it on, and it was just like fuck. And
I feel you, man.
yeah, so it just fucking really sucked. And it took like, I was up in a new city as well. Like I moved from, I finished uni in Hobart, which is a city in Tasmania. And then I liked that, so I went to Sydney, and I didn't know anyone in Sydney. I just wanted to kind of like, get a new job or get a job in Sydney, like start like finish uni and like sorry, get my first job in Sydney, move to a new city, do everything completely new. Like I didn't know anyone, so I was in this new city, didn't know anyone, had like this career that I've been working up to for 5 years, and was just realizing I fucking hated it, and was just away
Another,
from everyone I knew, and I was just like, fuck.
another. Okay, well, another thing about that, hating it and all. When
Yeah,
you say, "Oh, I finally got that shit handled," you like you tell yourself you're finished, or
yeah,
it kind of becomes part of your identity.
definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, go on.
Yeah, so I definitely had that, and it was just kind of like, fuck. And so, yeah, so basically I went out and started partying again, and just like started basically getting back onto the whole, well, what
That's
else am
the
I gonna do?
solution to everything, man.
Yeah,
Fuck
yeah,
it,
yeah.
just go party, man.
Yeah, yeah, which was kind of like pretty unhealthy, you know? Like it wasn't great because it was just kind of like I just didn't. Oh, like I was working in a hospital, like with fucking people that are dying and everything, and I'm like out, like going out until like 3, 4 in the morning, just like getting hammered, just kind of like rocking up to work the next day, just being like, I fucking hate my job, I fucking hate my life, and it was like all hungover and shit. Like it was not good. So I really
Ah,
didn't know what to do. Really didn't know what to
that's
do. And yeah, so what did I do? I did something. Um,
What did
yeah,
Cable do? Stay
I
tuned.
got basically
For
what
the
happened.
next
I got another.
episode, we'll discuss what Cable did.
What
Next
did
time
you
on
do?
Cable's Life Story, episode 2.
How are we going with length for this? Are you guys happy with the story so far?
Fuck
Like,
yeah,
is it?
man.
I
This
feel
is
yeah,
like I'm
man.
going
dude.
into a lot of
This was the
detail.
only real question I had for you, man. I'm so fucking curious about this. I don't know why. It had been in my head for a long time.
Oh yeah, yeah. So I got like another there were lots of girls, but I got myself like another little girlfriend, and she was really great, and she was just like, why don't you go and do something different? Like she was really kind of like she was really good in terms of being able to kind of like she was someone that could push me out of my comfort zone, and was
Yeah.
like happy, like she was someone that was really happy to kind of like push me and help me grow, which was awesome, and I really needed that at the time, like because I was just like pretty much just like total in a lot of ways, just like full chode, just like working shit job, getting wasted like every like multiple times a week, just like yeah. So it was really good to have someone like help me out there. Not
Yeah.
necessarily help me out in terms of charity or anything, but
Like
yeah, it
motivate
was
you a little bit.
yeah, 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 yeah. She was good. So
Good, I bet.
she was
She,
good at a lot
she
of
was like, yeah, yeah, she was good. She was good.
things.
She was good.
She was good at a lot of things.
Uh,
So
Cable's
so
having a little
basically,
fucking nostalgic moment right here.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I wouldn't even say it's little. I'd say it's a
Fucking
large,
massive one.
large one. Yeah, it's a moment that's getting bigger. Anyway, so I hatched this little plan. I was like, all right, I'm going to save up some money. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to go overseas, and I'm going to go live in Holland for a while. I've never been there. I always wanted to go visit. So I'm going to go do that. And so that's what I did. Like I saved up and then just like quit. And I was just like, I was just like, I'm never going back to that kind of job. Never going back to it. Like I really kind of like fucking completely cut the ties, And it was really uh, like I kind of look back at my life, and a lot of the time that's how I kind of make changes. It's just like big, massive changes. I'm never doing that again.
Same with me,
So
man.
yeah,
That's the same way I do shit. I don't know why.
Yeah, yeah, and it was kind of like a big deal because it was kind of like it meant that I had to give up like my medical registration, which now like I can't go back unless I go through like a year of uni or something like that. So, but I was just like, never go back,
Fuck
never
it.
go back, and
Fuck it.
yeah, so I just cut that shit off, and then yeah, got on a plane and went to Europe. So I went to Europe and basically lived in Holland for like 6 months, and then went off and kind of like did all these different things through Western Europe from there. Like hung out a lot in England, a lot in France, a lot in Germany, all that type of shit.
Did you have any money, or how did you fund this?
Yeah, I didn't have that much money. I think I went over there with like only like $6,000, like 6,000 Australian dollars, which is about $1. And
Yeah.
yeah, so I stayed with my family over there, and like I had a few friends over in Europe from like different points of life, and
Yeah.
yeah, like I went like one of the cool things we did was like one of my mates was like touring in his band through Europe, and like
Okay.
it was kind of like his band and his tour. So he basically just had a van and was just driving around with the kind of band, playing at different venues and like organizing it like a couple of weeks in advance. And so I basically did that with them for a month and just like toured around Europe, like being the driver and like the kind of like the roadie guy, which was like just fucking awesome. And it was like a really good
Fucking
way to kind of like open up kind of Europe for me. And like we were just like
cable the cable the goddamn adventure, man. And
yeah, it was like
was
that.
was to say, man, you don't need that much money to do some traveling.
Oh man, when I
No,
traveled in there, I maybe spent like in 6 months. I probably spent like about that same. I was there last year for 6 months. I think maybe $5,000 or $6,000 the most.
yeah. Yeah, yeah. Like it means that you gotta like, you gotta sleep on people's floors,
Yeah.
you gotta like stay with family, you gotta do all that shit. But that's actually to me that's better than
Me
doing
too, dude. I
anything
love
else.
doing that, man. It's like you just shows that you want it so bad you'll do anything to make it happen, you know?
Yeah, and it's kind of like, you get to see the city and you get to see the culture from a different point of view, like, like the real point of view. And it's kind of
Yeah,
like
big
yeah,
thing.
to me, it's so much better. Like, I'm still a big fan of doing all the tourist stuff. Like, I still love going to fucking, Berlin and seeing, where the wall used to be and learning about all that shit and, going and seeing the fucking, all the different places in all the different cities and everything. But it's like, that's only just part of it. Like, and that shit often isn't very expensive. Was that like a little t-shirt reveal there, Nick?
No, man. I noticed every Skype that I do, I always look like I'm looking up. I don't know why, but nobody else ever looks like that. I don't know what's
Like
going
the
on.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a
Okay.
cool T-shirt.
Yeah, 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 yeah. So that was cool. That was cool. Like being in Europe and like connecting with my family over there. It was kind of funny because like growing up in Australia, I kind of didn't really feel like I was like stereotype Australian guy, you know. And Freddie, it's kind of like you think that like when you're kind of growing up in some place, there's like the guys that are really kind of like fully connected into like the local culture, right? Like
yeah,
we would call them like bogans in Australia. It's just like people that are fully Australian, and
yeah,
it's just like
yeah,
fully identify with that, and it's totally cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
I know what
and I
you're
never kind of felt like that. And so I was kind of like, well, maybe I'm Dutch. Maybe that's my thing. Maybe I'm not Australian really, because I've got family over there. Maybe that's who I am. And I went over
It's
there,
funny.
and it was like the first kind of like 30 seconds of talking with someone talking with a Dutch person in their country. I was just like, nah, I'm fucking Australian.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it was like 30 seconds. Yeah, I think it's kind of like, yeah, I didn't realize how much, I am. Like, I kind of learned a lot about myself just in those, even just in that kind of like 30 seconds. I was just kind of like, oh, yeah, this is who I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
If you
funny.
don't live
Like,
there, it's hard to actually be there. The same thing happened when I went to Italy. Like when I was a kid, my parents would work and I would stay with my grandma who barely even like fucking speaks English. So like when I did meet
Yeah.
my family there and stuff, yeah, I do notice there is a lot of similarities, especially with the way I approach situations. Like I'm really and generally really straightforward. And they're way
Uh-huh.
more straightforward than me, but like to the point
Yeah.
people are like, "What the fuck? Why'd you say it?" Like, be a little nicer about it, you know? But even talking to them for 30 seconds, like I could just tell them, like, yeah, I'm not really fucking Italian. I'm American, man. You know? It's pretty obvious. If you don't grow up there, it's hard to be more
Yeah.
similar to that culture than where you grew up.
Yeah. But it's funny, like you do have those like intrinsic characteristics, you know?
Yeah.
Like you do share those intrinsic characteristics with your family often. It's funny that it's like that Italian openness thing. Like that's interesting.
Yeah. The straightforwardness too. Like I just notice a lot of people, especially if they don't know me too well, I just see the reaction sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck? Like if someone says something I don't like it, I'm like, that's fucking stupid. But in Italian culture, that's how it is, man. You always tell that to people and nobody cares, you know? It's like you fucking suck at cooking, you suck at this or whatever. And they just like to argue. But anyway, sorry to interrupt you.
Oh man, all good, all good. Yeah, so I kind of like had a similar thing, like going through and you got your posse coming in. I like this. I had a similar thing, like going to Holland, and it was kind of like it was cool, it was cool. And so then, my girlfriend came over to visit like halfway through, and that was okay.
Let me
And
ask you this, man. When you went to do that, you're still like, oh, I'm gonna stay with you.
when I was going to stay with my family.
Yeah, you're like, even though you're gone for 6 months, what'd you say to your girlfriend? Like, let's still do this. So you're pretty much like, hey, I'm gonna be over here, you know.
Well, I thought that I made it clear to her that well, actually, no, I don't know. Like to me, I was just like, I'm going. Like maybe you can come like later on. I don't know.
Yeah, but in your head was it like, oh yeah, I'm going over here, and
I
I'm
didn't really
probably
even
gonna
have it
stay
in
with
my
you.
head. I didn't even really have it very
You
clear
were
in my
just
head.
you just wanted to get the fuck out of there so bad, huh?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Like I liked
gotcha.
her, but that was kind of it. And I was kind of like, we kind of like had a vague plan that she would come over and visit at some point. But that was it. You know, that was it. So, and she was kind of like, in hindsight, she was kind of like pretty upset about that. But
Baby's gotta do what a baby's gotta do, you know?
yeah, yeah, she was kind of confused by that. But that was fine. So did lots of European, did fucking a whole bunch of shit there, which was great. Like, have you guys tried woofing? You know what that is?
Yeah, I've heard about it. I've never tried it though, where you work on a
Tried
farm
what?
for a place
Yeah,
to
yeah,
stay.
Oh yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shit.
yeah. So basically, you go and like work. You find a farm, Freddie, and you go and work on it, right? And
Yeah, I know what
you
it
work
is.
on the farm, like with vegetables or with fucking horses or animals or whatever. And then at the like they give you for working like 4 or 5 hours a day. They give you like food and they give you like a place to stay.
Yeah,
Yeah, and it's
accommodation.
like a really cool way of traveling, like really cheap around the world. Like they have it here in Australia and here in France and all the rest of it. It was just like, yeah,
Canada is big on that shit.
yeah,
Like
man. Anywhere you
basically
want to
the
go.
farmers. I know I have a friend who's doing it like in maybe 3 months or something. Uh, yeah, and basically he's going to Canada and he's gonna live there for 3 months. Work, just basically do farmers work, and as you explained, man.
Yeah,
Woofing.
Yeah.
wolf it.
So Cable, along this whole journey, where was the beard?
There was no beard, no
No
beard,
beard. Got it.
no beard,
No beard.
no beard.
Baby
Okay, so
face.
continue, my main man.
All right, all right, all right. So, you know, moved back to Australia. Decided to move to my hometown of Melbourne, and my girlfriend, she was like, "I want to come and live there too." I was like, "Okay, sounds good." So, I had no career, had no nothing, like just had fucking no money,
So
nothing.
how old are you now when you came back?
I'm like late 20s.
Okay, so like 28, 29.
Yeah, 28, 29.
Got it.
And I was just like, I don't fucking have anything, like nothing. And it was kind of like, there's that whole thing, like with traveling, a lot of the time with people's, like when people don't know what to do with their work or career or something, like you'll hear people giving advice, like, why don't you go traveling? you know, and it's kind of like great, and it's kind of like, and it's good advice, but it's also like, I think people like a lot of people think that that's actually the thing that's going to help you with your kind of like deciding what you're going to do next, like with your career or with your life or something. But in my experience and looking around with my friends, that's just like completely not true.
Yeah, I don't
like,
think it is
like the
either.
traveling is cool, but it's just kind of like it's certainly not helpful. Like you come
Dude,
back home
the
and
most
you've got all the
depressing
same
thing is
shit.
coming back, man. Like I remember when I came back, it took me like months just to be like, oh no, I'm back, man. I felt like I just woke up from a dream or something.
Yeah, man,
Yeah.
it's like I got back. I was like living with my parents again, like first time since I'd moved out. You know, when I was a little basketball guy. Except now I wasn't little excited basketball guy. I was fucking like, you know, no job, no money, like girlfriend not in town yet. Like, oh man, it was bad. I just had this like I had this pot from like from like the 6 months before I left, like in this like little shoebox. And so like my whole like all I do is kind of like look for jobs online, like look for charity jobs online during the day, and then at night I just kind of like get stoned and play guitar and like walk down to the beach. Like that was my life for like 2 months.
Dude, that sounds fun, man.
Oh look, I came up with
What
some
did you
good
do?
songs,
Like
but
search
it
for
was just kind of
jobs and
pathetic,
All right,
huh?
so then what happened next?
So what happened next? You know, I got a couple of different jobs, and I was basically like, oh, okay, I'm going to be like a hospital administrator. I'm going to work in hospital management, you know? And I kind of like had this job in my mind, right? And I was like, this is where I want to be in 3 years. And so I kind of like, you know, worked, like got a job, stayed there for 6 months, got a different job. Another job, stayed there for 6 months, got a different job. And I got this job that I was like, yes, this is it. I got it. And I got it. And then like, you know, a couple of months into it, I was just like, this is fucked. This is fucked. I don't want this. And it just sucked. It sucked again. Like I was back in like pretty much exactly the same position. I was just like, it was bad. It was bad.
fucking
And
bad circle of doom, man. Like it
yeah,
keep
yeah,
repeating itself, you know?
yeah. And so it was kind of like, it was really weird. It was, you know, I'd worked so hard to kind of like get to where I wanted to be. And then it just kind of like, you know, was not, I realized it was all wrong. And yeah, like I really didn't know what to do, you know, like I really didn't know what to do, and basically I just stayed doing it for like a while, and just kind of like, you know, moved in with a girlfriend. So me and my girlfriend got like a place together, and I was just kind of like, well, I guess this is it. You know, I guess this is it. It was just kind of like, you know, living in like the nice little couple thing, nice safe couple thing with the kind of job that I kind of hated, but kind of was kind of okay. And, you know, just
Living a fucking totally regular life, man. Like
totally fucking regular, Freddie. It's just like full fucking shit. Like it was bad. And like, look, like I just kind of like, yeah, basically stopped doing anything that was kind of, stopped kind of taking any risks, stopped kind of doing really anything that I wanted to do. It was just kind of like, it was fucking bad. It was not great. Like, yeah, not good.
fucking kids
And,
like me and Nick, we gotta listen and stay away from that shit, you know?
Yeah, man.
and yeah, basically it was just became like full chode, you know, in the fullest sense of the word, you know, like,
Dude, it's just so easy to be that way too. That's the thing about it. Like at the end
yeah,
of the day, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like it's not necessarily anything else. It's just the fucking lazy way out. It's easy.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
easy.
But
Like it just
it's
takes
it's
less. It takes less energy at the end of the
yeah,
day.
yeah. But it's kind of like if you're unaware, it's kind of like you don't really know. Like you don't really know what's happening to you. Like in the middle of it, like I was completely unaware, and I was just like, oh, I guess this is my life now. I kind of suck, but that's okay. And it was just kind of
Yeah.
like, fuck.
You fucking just accept it, man. And it's funny because I was thinking about this the other day,
Yeah,
where I'm constantly kind of a little stressed about improving myself and
Yeah.
Well, making sure when time is ready, I get where I want to be and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So, but basically, I'm choosing this. I could just like totally forget about freedom business, picking up girls, find a nice little hippie hooker, and settle for that.
Yeah.
Uh, and
Sounds
just
good.
live a totally like chilled life and work as an electrician and be 50% happy. Fucking divorce Nick. And yeah, just be a
Gonna break
fucking
my
chode,
heart,
man.
Freddie. You're gonna break
And
my heart.
now, and then
Leave me
I
alone out here
go
on the fucking lonely
fuck,
California
fucking
sun.
wait for this shit, man. Uh,
Hit it.
but but I'm fucking choosing this. I'm fucking choosing. I still want to be married to Nick. We're getting that shit together. And
Put a
yeah,
ring on it, Freddie.
basically, man, you choose your own path, and you could either choose to be a fucking chode or you can step the fuck up. So yeah, go
Yeah.
on.
Yeah, no, it's true, it's true. And like, it's not like, I was still kind of like working really hard and everything with work and all the rest of it, but it was just kind of like, it was just bad, it was just bad. And so, of course, like me and my girlfriend's just like, just hates me. Well, not necessarily hates me, but he's just kind of like, I'm just like full chode. So it's just like, why, like, that's not attractive, is it, huh?
Mhm.
And I was just kind of like not that into her either. And it was just, even though we kind of like still got along really, really well, just like basically like hardly ever having sex,
Oh
it's
man,
just
you're
like not
fucking
great.
killing me.
You know what I mean? I don't know. Have you guys been in this kind of situation before?
No.
Fuck no,
Oh,
man.
oh, okay.
I mean, I guess with the working stuff, I feel like that sometimes, like I feel like before, and because I'm young and I do see, like you're saying, when you just party too much, I think I do have that in my head where I feel like I have two personalities. There's like Nick who works hard and hustles and all this shit, and there's Nick when he goes out. And I
Yeah,
didn't realize it too much till I took this trip to Europe. But
yeah,
if I spend like a week going out, dude, it is for me. It takes a lot to get me back to work again. So I think I've always been a little bit afraid that I'm gonna go too far off, and I know some of my friends that just fucked up their whole life by dropping out of
yeah,
school because they would just fuck around. So I think sometimes I lean too much to just working and getting shit done side, which is
yeah,
good. It's probably good long term.
yeah,
But I end up feeling like that a little bit sometimes, you know?
yeah, yeah.
But I still think it's better than just fucking around, especially at like the age I'm at, 21, where it's kind of dictates how the frame of the rest of your life. So I still feel it's better, but I get what you're saying by that feeling sometimes, where it's just like
Yeah,
it's bad, like you said,
yeah,
it's bad.
yeah, yeah. Yeah. So, with the girlfriend, it was just like she was just basically like we were basically just like really good friends, like living together, and that was how it was. And I was kind of happy with that, because I was just like, well, this is kind of life. And yeah, it was just like not great. And then yeah, and of course she was just like more and more unhappy. And then we were just like then she was just like, I think we need to break up. And I was just like, fuck, this is no good. Because like in my mind, I was kind of like, this is my girl, and I'm gonna be like, we're gonna be living together forever. Like, doing all the, being a fucking like lovely couple and everything. And
If
oh,
that
it's
bitch had a fucking if she had a baby,
yeah, no, if she,
you
yeah, I don't
you
know, that would have made things different.
I mean, what is that shit? Is that an airplane?
It's not coming from Melbourne.
Yeah, there's an airplane over here.
Okay, so well, basically, if you were to have like a child with this girl,
Yeah,
you would probably never be on this podcast, man.
yeah, yeah. That's true. That's true.
I would
And so
never see you in
basically,
Thailand, and fucking,
yeah,
Probably not, dude.
I would never be
yeah,
inspired with the fucking
yeah,
beard
Dude, in
or
one of my
or
classes this week, there was this chick, and I'd seen her around before,
yeah,
and yeah, I've just seen her in my classes, and like I don't know, I just kind of recognize her face. She looked pretty cute and shit, but she was in one of my classes last quarter, and I recognized at the end of it, like she'd look at me once in a while, but I never really talked to her. And at the end of it, like I saw her get up one day, and she's really skinny, like real skinny, like in shape girl. And she just gets up, and I just tell like, oh man, this bitch is pregnant, man, right? Like it was obvious, right? And so I didn't say anything. I didn't really talk to her. Then this quarter, it started this week. She's in one of my classes. Before the class wraps up, I just start talking to her, and yeah, I
You got
thought
to
this
see
was pretty
pregnant
weird
girls.
that we just got diving into talking about her being pregnant. I've never talked to her in my life,
Yeah.
but I'm just like, yeah, man, I don't know how the fuck it got there so quick, man. But it was like in like 30 seconds, I'm like, yeah, what are you doing this summer? She's like, having a baby.
Yeah.
And I looked down and I'm like, oh damn, like is it a boy or a girl? She's telling me all about it and she tells me a little bit. Then I'm like, oh, what did your boyfriend think about that? And she's like, oh, he's like a dude, he didn't really say much, he didn't show any emotions. And I'm like, what the fuck? Are you kidding me? Like he's like a dude and didn't show any emotions. I'd be like, bitch, this is what I want to do. If you're with it or you're not. Then I'm like, well, was it, did you plan this out? How, and she's like, nope. And I'm like,
Oh
how
man.
old are you? She's like 20. 20 years old, man.
Oh
And she
no.
works as like a hostess at some fucking Momo restaurant.
Oh no,
And her
no,
parents are
that's
like paying for her to go through uni and shit. And I'm just like, damn. I guess it's kind of a brave thing to do on one side, but fuck, man, I would not want that to happen to me.
that's my fucking nightmare right there.
But at the same token, man, like to me there's a massive level of respect for someone who's gonna raise a kid while doing all this shit. Like that's fuck, man, that'd be difficult.
Sure. Some people that's just what they want to do,
Yeah.
That's what they want to do, and that's fine. That's
But it,
totally
it
cool.
didn't
Of
seem like that's
course.
what she wanted to do, man.
She wanted to fucking
Yeah,
party, suck dick, and
Then I was thinking, I'm like, damn, I wonder what it would be like to fuck a pregnant chick.
I think it'd be pretty good. I think it'd be
Yeah,
pretty
man, I
good.
was I was thinking at the time, like, man, maybe I could fuck this chick. I don't know.
bump
But
that baby set.
but I'm like, but I mean, maybe I could somehow. There's a chance, but I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think that would just be too weird in my head to do. It would have to just happen naturally. I couldn't. I
Okay,
would, that
go
would
for it.
that would be too fucking weird to pursue, man. For me, I don't know.
Like, yeah, I would agree, man.
I would just be
Kind of.
like, dude, what am I doing with my life? I've fucking gone off the deep end, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fucking yeah. I guess if you've made a thing about fucking pregnant girls, that's fine. That's fine. Yeah, I think that's acceptable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably yeah. I could see why,
nah.
because pregnant girls' their bodies kind of like change, and sometimes like I see pregnant girls around, I'm just like, fuck, you look great.
But yeah,
Dude,
man.
you're fucking crazy, Kable.
But yeah, man. She's still young, so you don't got to worry about getting her pregnant either.
Hey, Nick, let me tell you one thing. If you want to fuck
Fucking
this
Freddie,
girl,
man. Here we go
if you
again, dude, with his advice.
yeah, if you want to fuck this girl, do it now, not after she had the baby, because that after she got that baby, it's gonna be like fucking the bucket of water.
It's gonna be
Yeah.
food
Oh yeah.
shit, man.
Yeah.
It's gonna.
I haven't been there, but I was talking with a friend of mine earlier this week, and he was telling me about how a couple of years ago he was just like, yeah, I found this gold mine of girls, like single mothers,
Yeah.
and he was just kind of like going out and like deliberately railing all these single mums, and he was just like, and I was just like, so what was it like, you know? And he was like, oh, it was great because, no one, like, they feel like they really want attention and they don't have any kind of like men in their life and they just love you.
I'm
I'm
just
just like,
straight
no, no,
up
no.
with what they want too.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I was like, no, 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 man. What was it like? And he was just like,
Anal.
no, not good. Then he's like,
Anal.
Not.
Anal.
he was just like, no, man, like things change.
Yeah.
Things
Oh, they do.
change. And I was just
Fuck, I'm
like, oh.
so
There was this
disgusted.
like group of us, and there was this like this silence at the table, and we all kind of like looked down, and we're all just like, oh.
Dude, I said this shit to Freddie, man. This is how I feel about this shit. I'm like, what's the difference between a 35-year-old pussy and a 20-year-old pussy? 15
15
motherfucking
years.
years, man. Flat out, man. That's it. 15 fucking years, man. Of shit wear and tear, man. That shit gets old.
How fucking lucky are we to be fucking dudes? Like every day I'm
Oh,
kind of like,
thank
fuck man, I'm so
fucking
glad I'm a dude.
God.
Oh, fuck.
Yeah.
But anyway,
I would,
man. So what's next in the fucking? What's the next chapter in Cable's life, man? It's like a
All right.
cathartic moment. Cable, you're
Yeah, yeah.
feeling the
So the
beat,
next,
huh?
so the next chapter is like the girl dumps me, and we're living together. Actually, in this fucking house, in this room. This room used to be our special love room, and so dumped, and I was just kind of like, I kind of understood, but I was just kind of like, oh god, fuck, like now what, you know?
Now
Just didn't really.
you hit rock bottom now, man. Shitty job, no girlfriend, got a house to pay.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to pay it, like it's just rent, but you know, it's
Yeah, same shit.
yeah, yeah. I was just like, fuck. So yeah, so really didn't. So basically, I just that was when I first kind of like discovered like the game, and got into that, and I was pretty much straight away was just kind of like, okay, this is what I'm gonna do, and yeah,
Let me ask you
basically,
this though, man. How do you feel? Cause I guess guys like me and Freddie kind of looked at this shit a little younger, but you had a good 10 years of your life of partying and whatnot. What do you feel like you changed it all, and your approach to when you go out at night, or not like in terms of you viewing when you go out versus
yeah.
when you were younger, or is it pretty much the same? Because it's not that complicated, you know?
When I was like when I first started going back out again, like it was kind of like really fucked. Like it was just like really difficult. I really didn't want to
Okay.
do it, and it's still sometimes like that now. Like even now, like I've been doing this for like a year and a half, but it's like I still have that sometimes where I'm just like I don't want to go out. I'm not interested in it. Like it's fucked, and all that kind of stuff. Whereas like before, like back when I was kind of like doing it originally, it was just kind of like partying was partying, and partying was just
yeah.
awesome. You know what I mean?
I
And
kind of like that better.
and yeah, it's good. And I can get back. I can get back in touch with that. And I'm getting kind of like better at kind of like being able to do that. But it's still, I spent like a decade or like 8 years like not going out.
Yeah.
And so it's yeah, it was definitely really different. And so it was just kind of like I'd never like although I'd kind of like really been into partying and everything and had my fair share of girls and everything, I really had no idea what I was doing. Like I just had no idea of what I was doing. But it was kind of like it was really great. Like as soon as I kind of like realized that like oh girls, it's possible for girls to like me. Like as soon as I realized that,
Then you
because
started
like
growing your beard.
to me, well, I did, yeah. Um, like I really like to me, I had like that level of doubt. I was just like, well, will girls like me? I don't know. Like, is
Yeah.
that possible? And then, so once I kind of like had like a couple of makeouts, which took a little while, then I was just like, oh, okay, great. And then I was just kind of like got right into it, and
So, did
yeah.
you use like this sort of like mystery method sort of shit?
No, I don't know. I don't know what that is. I did go
Like
out wearing a big hat once.
yeah, like
Yeah,
if you did you read the game, the book?
I haven't read the game, no.
Okay, so so you don't know about that shit. Like
Yeah, well, I read about, like, to me, what I know about the mystery method is that he does, like, a lot of peacocking and shit, is that right? Like, wearing kind of,
yeah,
like, crazy clothes?
he
Yeah.
looks like fucking not a human at least.
I don't know. I always felt like that if you like have to sacrifice your personality, then it's just ain't worth it. Like
Yeah,
I
but
mean,
for me,
dude,
it
some
was like,
people are a bit like sex addicts and they don't give a fuck about what they'll do anything. But I feel like if you have to sacrifice your personality just to fucking get some pussy, then it's not worth it, man. That's how I've
Well,
always
to
felt
me, I was
about
just like, I didn't know. Like, I was just getting into the, like, I was just like, I know that it's possible to get better with girls. So that's it. And so it's just like, I just had no idea. And to me, like, I was willing to do that. I was willing to try that out for a while. But, very quickly kind of like found the kind of like, um, normal way of doing things or like, um, yeah,
Games
kind of like,
stuff.
yeah, found the RSD stuff, which was awesome.
Yeah.
And, yeah, that was pretty cool. So, yeah, that was cool. And then, yeah, that was it. So like I said, like I've been kind of like doing game stuff for about a year and a half now. Um, like it was funny, like last year I had all these, like it was like my first year in the game. And I was kind of like, okay, what happened? Like, how do I get good at shit? And I'm like, okay, I get good at shit by measuring it and just by, like being consistent. So it's just like, okay, so I'm going to go out heaps. I'm going to go out like, 3 times a week. Like that was heaps for me.
Yeah.
And go on heaps of dates during the week. And I'm going to try and like, I was trying to think about what's like a really big goal. And I was like, I'm going to try and fuck 10 girls this year. Like, high, like good standard, no
Yeah.
slop, you know? And, yeah, basically went out and did that. And, then of course, just like like towards the end of the year, just kind of like blew all those numbers out of the water and everything. And, had this like full rotation going on of like, like 5 girls. And it's just kind of like great. And they were all kind of like pretty good standard and everything. And then
Great,
was just
man.
like, yeah, kind of like really, really kind of like totally got exactly what I wanted with game and girls and all the rest of it. And it was just yeah, it was great. But then I was just like about a month ago, like this is all up until about a month ago, and I
Yeah.
was just like, I think I need to just mix it up now. And so I basically just, yeah, I realized that a lot of my game was just kind of like, I just wasn't like, I was still drinking, like 6 beers every time I went out, and I really didn't like that. So I was just like, okay, cut the alcohol. So, no alcohol for a year for me now. And I was just like, all the girls, like, they're all great, but I'm going to get rid of them all. Like, no more fucking pussy pension plan. So,
So, Cable, are you gonna get rid of all the girls you have like right now?
yeah, I got rid of them a couple of weeks ago.
Dude, you're fucking the main heartbreaker in fucking Australia, man. Fucking, you got girls crying. They don't know what to do. They want a fucking beard. Want to suck your dick. Dude, you're a heartbreaker. But hey, it's that was cool. Like hearing about how you did that and actually made your fucking goal and all that stuff.
Yeah,
it.
So
yeah.
I've never actually done that to like measure consistent results. I'll usually be like, go out for 2 months, bang 3 or 4 chicks, and then stay inside for 2 months. And I don't know why I always do that. Like, I'll just be like, oh yeah, I did that. Then 2 months will go by, and I'll be like, what the fuck? It's been a long time now. Then I'll go out 2 months again. Like I've
oh
never
Yeah,
yeah,
done like a consistent, measurable thing, like you said.
yeah, yeah.
That's a good
Well,
idea,
yeah.
though.
To me, like I knew that was just how, like I just know how to press my own buttons with that kind of shit. So so that was how I did it, and it was kind of like, I'm not necessarily like the numbers were important to me,
no,
but
it's
like
just like a
that's
way
not,
of getting better, you know.
yeah, like a way of motivating myself, but it's not like that's not really like that's not where I'm at now.
No.
Like, but it definitely was like last year. So so yeah, but now it's kind of like a bit different with game stuff because like no alcohol, like it changed
How
it
do
all
you?
up. Like I know that you guys are kind of like are pretty much sober with that, and like I got a lot of respect for that. And so yeah, that's the new thing.
It's gonna.
Here's how I feel about it, man. I feel like at this point, the amount of nights I go out is directly related with how many girls I'm gonna fuck. So it's
Yeah,
not a matter of like, oh, I gotta get better. It's like, oh, if I go out this much, then I'll probably have like this many girls. Like it's like I kind of know the statistic about it,
The
where
ratio.
it's not like, oh, I need to get better. It's like, oh, I just need to follow this process, and then this will happen.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's funny, because I was thinking exactly the same thing. I was like, hey, dude, I was talking to myself, like, I have no girls in my life right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why is that? And then I was thinking, okay, so I spent maybe like fucking 30 minutes out because, when I was going out, I was talking with my friends, hanging out with them, and then maybe in total is 30 minutes to actually just like talk to girls.
Yeah.
And it's kind of hard to get like a circle of girls if you spend maybe 30 minutes a week talking to girls,
Yeah.
That's the, that's the fucking reason. So last night I spent, no, I went out Friday,
Yeah.
just hit up a couple of girls, and I kissed this Finnish girl, but yeah, nothing happened. She
Sounds nice.
couldn't kiss, man.
You sound
She couldn't
great.
kiss.
You couldn't kiss.
She couldn't kiss, man.
Oh. What was the
This
She's
problem?
one.
she's finished, man. That's a fucking
No,
problem.
no, the fucking problem was she was bad at it,
She was just
basically.
like slopping all over your face.
Yeah, slopping. That's it.
I hate that. It's so
Yeah,
disappointing. It's like,
yeah.
oh God, really? It's like
And
I could spend like I could spend some time, like I could spend some time trying to like show you what's going on and like get you better, but that means I have to spend time with you, and I don't know if I'm willing to do that.
Dude, I don't give a fuck about the kissing thing, but if I have to do the same thing with a dick sucking dick, man.
no,
But
man,
it's already like, what are you gonna do? Like, what are you
I
gonna do?
want.
Like, this is how you do it, girl.
Basically, man, I'm like, I'm gonna teach you how to do this, so however you get married, tell them to give me a call and thank me. I
I've had
tell you,
She's
like,
like,
I'm like, I'm gonna teach you to sucking dick, so when you get married, your husband can fucking thank me.
she's like, thanks, Papa Nick.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna call one day, like, hey, is this Nick? I'm like, yeah, thanks for teaching fucking Stacy how to suck dick. I'm like, okay, cool. Dude, I say this too, man. I tell him that, man. I'm kind of fucked up.
yeah, I know
That's
you're
good. I
fucked up,
like
man.
Freddie knows it.
Of course I do, man.
that. So,
Yeah, well, so okay, so
so
fucking
you're
last
talking to
night, man.
girls for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, yeah, around 20 minutes Friday night. Then Saturday night, I went out, and I just like from the get go, I just hit up girls, and
Yeah,
in the beginning, the first thing I do, I'm at the dance floor, and I see this girl, and I look in her. Fuck, my English is slipping, man. I look her in the
doing
eyes,
great.
and I walk over, and she just turns back to me and walks away. And I go,
She's
what the?
what? Slapped
Wait, she
you?
slapped you?
No, no. She turns her back to me and walks
Oh,
away. And I go, what the fuck, man? And I'm like, kind of feeling like I don't know what to do. And then I'm thinking about, okay, what did I do wrong here? The thing, and it's fucking simple, man. You just, I keep telling myself, keep it simple and just do it. And what that meant was, I wasn't giving anything. I was just going over to her to get some validation or whatever. So, okay, so I go from taking to giving.
Mm,
And I see like this Snoop Dogg smoke weed every day song comes on, and I see three girls in a circle, and I just walk
yeah,
in the middle of them and fucking do a spin, and I start making out with the harder stuff. That's how you do
yeah,
it. And later on, I meet a cool girl, like she was a little hippie, and I take her upstairs to away from the dance floor, kind of a more chilled out area. We talk for like 15 minutes or something, and she gives me her phone number, and yeah, she was fucking cool, man. Maybe I'll fuck her.
maybe it will be. Maybe she'll end up being your wife.
Doubtful.
Freddie's
I don't
talking.
know, man. Fucking impossible to say, man. But the thing is, my fucking point with all this is, it is what the time you put in is gonna be what you get.
Yeah, man.
What you get out of it, and Yeah, that's how it
Dude,
is.
honestly, man, I honestly think I like just partying more than having sex. I'm not fucking
Yeah,
kidding, man.
I
depends,
think
man.
It
that's
took me a
the best.
while to fully realize that, man. I mean,
I
it's
think
like
that's
to
the
me,
place to be.
it's almost like okay, you got to do it if you have maybe 3 or 4 times a week is probably optimal. So if I
Hmm.
got
Yeah,
that going on, I mean, then I'm out partying, fucking just killing shit up, man, making like adventures and memories that I'm gonna remember for the rest of my fucking life, you know?
yeah,
Yeah.
but you and me, Nick, were, or I think it was you who were saying this, but having sex is just like another way of having
Another
fun.
way of having fun, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So, uh, like, if you were to just partying all the time and never having sex, the partying would totally suck.
Yeah, well, that just comes with it. That comes with the territory, you know?
Yeah. So, and it's like, if you're not jerking off or if you're never getting off, you're gonna be fucking crazy, man. It's
Yeah, that's true.
you gotta do it. You gotta fuck some bitches every once in a while, you know. So, Kevin,
Yeah, Cable. The
back.
reason I
Yeah.
asked that question, I wanted to tell a story, man,
What?
is here's what I felt, man. I felt like you're like the whole SS group, SSM group. You have like this all-knowing wisdom, man. Like we'll talk about shit, like we'll tell stories, and then you're like,
Yeah.
oh, cool. Whereas like I'll tell a story, Freddie will tell me a story back. You're just like, oh, cool, man. And like I know I could tell you have some similar story, but you don't need to tell it. You know, you're like, oh yeah, I've done that shit. Like that's just a Baba guy. You're like, yeah, I've done that shit. But yeah,
Yeah,
cool for you, man. Good for you. And then I think maybe us as young guys, we still like we feel like we gotta prove a little something. I don't know what the fuck it is, man. But Cable just like, yeah, cool, man. I fucking yeah, cool for you, man. You know,
Yeah. Well.
like I don't know where that vibe comes from, but I wanted to get the full fucking story behind it.
Yeah. I'm not sure if it. I'm not sure where it comes from. I don't really know exactly what you're talking about, but I guess I can kind of understand. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe it is just like a little more life experience, you know?
Fuck yeah,
Yeah.
man. You got 10 years on these already, so more 11. So that does a lot.
It does do a lot. It does do a lot. But I feel fucking so lucky, being able to kind of like, having found, all the game stuff and all the SSM and everything. Like it's just, just feel so lucky being able to kind of like hang out with guys like like guys like I live with Luke. Early today I was hanging out with like Tim Mack and Way and a couple other guys, and it's
Fucking
just
way,
like
man. That dude never shows up on the forums, man. I seen him with Tyler. I've never seen him again, man. He's killing
I
it
know,
too.
I
He's
know, I
killing it.
know. He's doing pretty well. Yeah, I love Way, I love Way, but yeah, he just doesn't show up on the forums for some reason. So I get on him about it, but that's fine. But I just feel so lucky, like being able to kind of like hang out with you guys and kind of being able to kind of like reconnect with that whole kind of like uh like having kind of like lots of energy and all that kind of shit because it was like fucking like well lacking in like my life and like a lot of my old friends, a lot of my good friends and everything now, they've just like fully moved on to some like different part of their life. Like, they're like married and they've got like bought a house in the suburbs, or they kind of like they've got a kid or something like that. And it's kind of like, that's great and everything. And, I think that's fine if that's what you want to do. But it's kind of like,
That's not what I want to do.
that's just not what I'm doing, I'm just not
Yeah.
interested in doing that. And I just feel like so fucking, I just feel really grateful, like, to be able to hang out with you guys and everything. So it's kind of like, I just want to be real with it.
The thing I love about it is like when like us and SSM guys hang out, we don't need to talk about anything. We already know what we all want to do. Whereas like some of the people I go with, and I'm like, hey man, do you want to like go over here and do this or go do that? You know, and we're hanging out, it's just like, yeah, we're fucking going and doing that, man. You know, you know what I mean? It's like you don't even have to ask because the answer is always yes.
Yeah,
Nobody's like, you want to go
yeah.
this? Nobody's like, no. You
No
know,
one's like,
there's no
oh,
no's.
we just stay in and play video games.
No.
Like, doing that.
another thing about like a fucking new world opened up to me when I met all the SSM guys, man. Because it was I could be or the first night I met Tim and Frank, Chris and Paulie,
Yeah.
and like I just arrived in Thailand. I figured, man, what the fuck am I gonna do? I'm gonna hit up Tim because I knew he was staying at the Chanta Ramos. So I just fucking went over there to find find out what happened, you know. And
Yeah.
I got to know this Frank, you know, Frank the motherfucking tank.
Frank the
And
mofo tank.
yeah, so basically we just talked for like an hour, maybe two, and I got to know the guys. And it was like, okay, so they knew about this jungle party,
Yeah.
and yeah, we just like Thomas arrived as well. We just fucking clicked so well, you know. And a couple of days later, and another thing is, it wasn't weird for me to like hit up girls because we were all doing it, you know.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, I don't like it when I'm the only one in the group doing it. I fucking rather be alone, man. I don't know. I just don't like that feeling, man.
yeah, I agree, man. I would
Feel
rather
like I'm
be
being
alone.
ostracized from the fucking tribe or some shit, you know? Freud doesn't even know what
Yeah,
the fuck that means, man.
brother just walked in.
But
Give me a
dude,
fucking
the
second.
one thing I've been
Party
thinking
up.
this year, man, is like, okay, yeah, you could go out and meet girls by yourself and load them up to your fucking team and all that shit. But I think there's also like, I figured this after doing a lot of more business stuff is like, okay, yeah, that's like going around door to door and trying to get sales.
Give me a fucking second
There's
here,
also
man.
a
I got
fucking smarter way to play
number.
it. You know what I mean? Like
Uh,
whether that's like outsourcing your dating,
Yeah.
maybe having parties at your house and just having girls invite all their friends and come over. So then you're
Yeah.
meeting like maybe like 30 girls in a night instead of going out and since it's at your place, you're going to get all their information, all their numbers, like 25, 30 numbers in a night. Whereas when you go out, you might get 4 or 5 and you're trying way harder. And this way, you're like having fun. Maybe you got like your dating outsourced, so you're getting like 5 dates a week from that. You have a
Uh-huh.
party twice a week at your place, and you're getting like 10 numbers a night from that, and having a fucking blast. And meanwhile, you're only putting in like you're not going out alone and putting in all this effort just to get one chick. I think there's a smart way to do it, and there's also like the hustler way. You got to learn the hustler way, but as you get more and more, like imagine if me, you, and Freddie lived in a house somewhere,
Yeah.
we would just all be inviting girls over constantly, and then they'd be
Yeah.
like, tell their friends, this is cool, this is cool. And then by the end, we would never even have to leave, and we just have chicks coming over, like new chicks, like 3 new chicks a week, just fucking us. We wouldn't
I don't
even
know.
have to do anything, man.
It sounds pretty cool.
It's possible, man. It's really. I've talked to people who have done similar things too. Like they don't know about doing game and shit, but they just like created a lifestyle on their own, you know.
Right.
But I've just been
I
thinking
didn't.
about that because, like, at the end of the day, if you're just going out and trying to meet chicks again and again, it gets a little repetitive, man. I like doing new shit, even with business. I can't stand doing the same thing too long. So I always
Yeah.
want to try new things, see if this works, see if I like this better, and see if it's more effective too, you know. So
I can
What
try
I,
it out,
what
man.
is that
Try it out.
fucking background noise, man?
that's my friends talking, man.
Oh yeah, okay.
But I mean, I just feel like same thing with business. In the beginning, you got to scrap and hustle for it, but then after a while, and you kind of prove something to yourself, you're like, all right, yeah, chicks like me. I know that. It just, like I said, the only thing that's a differentiator is the amount of time I put in now. So if I
Yeah.
go out this much, but then I start thinking, well, there's also a better way to do business, like getting referrals, better marketing, all that shit.
Yeah.
Those same laws, that's like human psychology. That shit can apply to getting chicks too. I mean,
Yeah.
You still have to put yourself in front of girls though. You still have to put yourself in front of new girls
yeah, but I'm saying you could.
in a situation where they can see how cool you are.
That's what I'm saying, but like have it as a point like, okay, I'm doing this, and then you invite 20 chicks. Then all they have to do is watch you. You know what I mean? Instead of like one at a time, you're basically getting like having interactions with 20 chicks just because they're watching you doing
Yeah.
whatever you're doing, you know?
Yeah.
And then like on top of that, what I think is like Babe showed us this video called this Yacht Week video where it's
Yeah.
in the Mediterranean Sea, and it's like a week on a fucking yacht with like, you invite like 10 or 15 people and you just go around and just party like the hottest chicks and all that. But like,
Yeah.
imagine this, man. Like, get a yacht and say you're already doing this. You know all these chicks. You invite like 10 of the fucking hottest chicks. It's like you and your two friends on a
Yeah.
yacht with like just 10 fucking banging chicks going around the Mediterranean Sea with the sun and like fucking drinks and alcohol and shit. Like, dude, what's better than that? Like, okay, it's cool to bring chicks to your house and fuck her and whatever. But dude,
Yeah.
if I did that, I'm good for life, man. I'm good for life, dude. Like if I got like 10 model type chicks on a boat going around the Mediterranean Sea with like two of my friends
Sucking
and
your
shit,
dick.
dude, I don't want anything. Like I'm done. I don't need anything more than that.
Like you can die a happy man.
Yeah, I'm done, man. I'll get married after that.
You should make that shit happen.
I'm trying to, man. It's just like I live in California, so getting 10 chicks to fly all the way across the fucking world probably be a little difficult. But if it was something nearby, fuck yeah, man.
Well, yeah, pay for them. Get a business
Fuck
going.
that
Pay
shit,
for
man.
them.
Fuck
Nick
that
is
shit, man. That's the
fucking
last thing I'm gonna do is pay for those bitches.
You
Nick,
could,
you fucking
you,
cheapskate.
I ain't no cheapskate. Are you fucking kidding me? I ain't no sucker, man. That's what it is. But anyway,
Yeah, I'm
I'm just
fucking
saying,
joking.
like, I think, like, learning to meet chicks is the beginning. Then it opens all these other doors. It's like, okay, I know how to do that. Now, what else can I create with that?
yeah,
I think it's just the beginning, Like, I don't really just want to have sex with a lot of girls. I mean, that's cool, but like, oh,
Dude, dude,
what am
dude,
I
dude,
gonna
dude, dude, dude,
85
dude, dude.
fucking chicks? Like, oh yeah, man, 85. I made 80,000. That's the same thing as like making a lot of money. I'd rather have
sure,
like cool things that I've done.
sure.
Nick, I would
Freddie, shut the
agree,
fuck up,
but
man.
I gotta fucking disagree, man.
Shut the fuck up, Freddie.
I'm gonna fucking stab you. Fucking rape that corpse,
Shut
bitch.
the fuck up, Freddie.
Go fuck your mother, sucker.
So,
Yo,
I
what
mean,
do you disagree about, Freddie? What do you
Freddie,
disagree
what I
about?
dis
it's okay if you like hitting on dudes, man. I understand, but we don't have to know about it.
fucking douchebag, man.
Go ahead, Freddie. We'll listen to you.
Okay, man. So, like, I agree with the adventures and shit, but if you can't tell me, man. Like, if you were to go on a yacht and fucking perfect tense, that would be it for you. You get married, man. I don't feel that way. I wanna bang bitches till
I'm
I'm
just
fucking
kidding when I say that shit, man.
what?
I was being sarcastic, man.
No, you weren't, man. You could fucking hear it in your voice, man.
Yeah, I was being honest, but
I know you,
It's kind of
Nick.
like a good point though.
You're a
It's
fucking
like
perv.
it's like once you kind of like get to where you think you want to go, like I guess with this example with girls, it's like Nick, you're like saying that your kind of like ultimate little fantasy at the moment is to be on like the Mediterranean with like on a yacht with like 10 hot girls, right? It's kind
basically,
of like, and that's kind of like this goal right there. It's
yeah.
kind of like you don't know who you're going to be after that.
Yeah, I can't
Like
imagine. That's
you
really
can't
what I'm
imagine,
saying. I
like you
couldn't
don't know.
imagine anything else.
You don't know because you know what? Like if you get that, like if you kind of really put your mind to it and decide to go for it and get it, it's just like you'll have to fucking change as a person to be able to do that. And
Oh
it's
yeah,
like when you actually get it, when you get it, you'll be different and you don't. So the person who you are right now, it's just like you can't actually think about what you would want to do after that.
no, I
So it's
can't.
kind of like so, so it's literally so you kind of right, Frank. It's kind of like totally confusing to try and choose what you do after that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine. It's like, what else? Like, for example, 2 years ago, I could have never imagined going to Thailand for 2 weeks in the middle of my school semester and like just hanging out with random dudes across the planet. Like, I couldn't imagine that, but
Yeah.
it happened.
Yes. And it's just like,
Uh,
yeah, like
okay,
if you can't, if something like that happens, like, and you can't even think about what's going to happen in the future, like because you just change so much as a person. Is that
Yeah.
the kind of thing that you're talking about,
Yeah, man.
Freddie?
What I really feel about it is like I think right now there's a good foundation I have set up for myself, and then like I guess that's one foreseeable goal, right? But say once that happens, it's
The
not
yacht
like
pimp
I'm gonna
man.
stop at. It's not like I'm gonna stop after that. But it's like once that happens, the possibilities are gonna balloon. You know, once I've had that experience and I have the confidence that like I know this could happen, dude, what else could we do? You know what I mean? Like we'll be having SSM trips and we each bring like 10 chicks, and I'll just be like, hey, I'd be like, hey, Stacy, go fuck Cable. You know, like, dude, that's one thing I've always wanted to fucking do. Like, at the term, I've like, I've always, it's like when people come to my house, I like to like feed them and shit. I've
Yeah.
always wanted to get to the level where, like, when like say some of my friends come to visit, I'll just be like, hey, you know, Stacy, fuck my friend Cable right here. Like, that's the hospitality. When you come to my house, I have a chick for you.
Yeah, I'm all like jet lagged and everything from coming in all tired. I'm
Yeah,
just like,
suck his
oh
dick.
man.
Go suck his dick, and I'm gonna cook him dinner, man. And like that's to me like I've always wanted to have like that level of hospitality.
Nick, you're a
Oh,
fucking Italian to the bone, man.
Dude, but guess what? Everybody would come back to my house.
Yeah, definitely. That's there's no question there. You
But
know.
no, Friday, I wouldn't get married after that shit, man. I'm just fucking around about that. But I'm saying
No, I mean, but
like what else
yeah,
more could you want out of life after that? Like wanting more than that is just being selfish.
yeah, but I mean,
yeah,
people would say you could easily make that argument about your life now.
Yeah,
I
you
mean,
could.
yeah.
yeah, of course not. Yeah, I didn't like. Yeah, forget about it.
So
But
what's been the priority? What's been the priority for your life over the past month, Freddie?
Freedom business.
me,
Yeah, what's been the priority?
um, doing the electrician stuff with the final exams and stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
basically it. I'm starting this Friday, and by the next Friday, I'm finished.
How you feeling about it?
Pretty pretty good, man. I've been studying, and yeah, I'm yeah, I'm pretty confident about it, you know. But yeah, if I were to fucking fail it, I'd fucking jump in the river, man.
Now,
You're gonna jump in the river.
Freddie, you've been doing this shit for 4 years, man. You're gonna fucking pass it, man. Guaranteed.
Yeah, yeah, I fucking better, man.
No, you will, man.
Yeah, yeah, I will. So yeah, basically, it's been
Full study mode.
yeah, I feel like doing this. I've been putting so much time into it, so I feel like finishing and just doing it, you know,
Yeah,
wrapping up that
cool.
part of.
Sometimes you just that's what it's about. Like you just got to put your head down and like fucking like massively focus. And it's it's difficult and all the rest of it, but it's necessary.
Yeah, what else are you gonna do, man? You gotta do it.
Exactly.
So
I mean, what the fuck else are you doing? Like fucking who gives a shit? Like life is kind of like about the struggle, you know? Like fucking work it.
Work, girl.
I think that's been uh, like a big holding me back with freedom business stuff, and at the
Oh yeah.
same time, like being kind of an excuse, you know.
Okay, so like holding you back and being an excuse at the same time.
I can't. I'm having problems hearing you guys. Uh,
I think we can't hear you, Nick.
Can you hear me?
Well, we can hear you, but it's all fucked up with the sound at your end.
What does it sound like?
It sounds
sounds
like
like a lot of
television.
yeah.
Yeah, because these motherfuckers are watching a Lakers game, man.
Huh?
They're watching a Lakers game.
Fuck the Lakers, man.
I try and turn it away.
Hey guys.
But yeah, that's gonna be that way, man. I can't do nothing about it.
Okay.
Okay, man. Yeah, no problem right now. So yeah, wait, well, I'll go back. Um, yeah, with the electrician stuff, I feel like it's been holding me back, but at the same time, kind of used it as an excuse, maybe. I'm not sure, you know.
Yeah. So it's
But
just been stopping you.
yeah, no, I don't know, man. Like, I've had a full job, and at the same time doing some like extra hours. When I got into SSM, I had like the theoretical exam when I got back home from Italy,
Yeah.
and that kind of like at that time I was trying to focus on SSM and at the same time do the electrician stuff,
Yeah.
and at the same time get home from Italy and get back to the like normal life. So I got like a little overworked at that time, and yeah, fucked shit up, man. But
Mm.
like I'm a I'm very like with the freedom business stuff. I'm very confident, but at the same time, I'm a little like uncertain, you know,
Yeah.
because with school, I never skipped a day of school, and I never skipped a day of work, except one day when I had fucking Hardy from Oslo in bed. You know, I had to call in sick. But anyways,
Yeah.
and with the jiu-jitsu shit and working out stuff like that, you know,
Yeah.
I always show up. So I feel like if I just put the same amount, like same kind of effort into the freedom business stuff,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna make it, you know. And
Yeah.
at the same time, in my mind, I'm like, there's no other way. I'm gonna make this shit work, or it's yeah, I'll do whatever it takes. And if that's not good enough, then I don't think it's possible, you know.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah. 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 I think that kind of attitude is good. Like it's kind of like, you've proven. It sounds like you've proven to yourself that you've been able to kind of like, do cool shit in your life and make shit happen. You know what I mean? Like make it happen with class, make it happen with work. You know, being able to be dedicated and all the rest of it. But
Yeah.
and you feel like if you put the same principles towards like business, then you can do it, which I think is true. But it's still kind of like it's still like a little bit different, and there's still like I think when you kind of like doing something big like that, there's always an element of unknown and a little bit like, oh fuck, I don't know if I can do it, you know?
Yeah, of course. I feel that way too, man. But so it is like a certain kind of cockiness where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna do it, but at the same time, I'm kind of humble about it. And I know I'm like everybody else, and I gotta do exactly the same shit as you and Nick and like all the SSM guys and everybody who
Sure,
wanna make something, they gotta do it, you know. And
sure,
I'm no different.
yeah. And so, what's the plan?
Yeah, so when I finish like next week, I'm uh I'm not 100% sure, but um I'm thinking maybe just trying to get a sale before summer, just to
Hmm.
like get the yeah, just to do it. And I'm saving up money with the electrician job to go on this trip with Nick. And when I get back home from that, I'm gonna like go full into freedom business. Maybe get
Yeah,
a job 2 days a week just to have some money coming in, and just giving it my everything, you know.
cool.
So yeah, that's the plan. That's the plan, mate. Yeah,
I like it. Yeah,
I like it
sounds
too, man.
sounds feasible.
But
Yeah.
Freddie, have you ever talked to Kai in Norway?
No, I haven't. Yeah, I've tried to call him a couple of times, but every time there's been like something's been up. So no, I haven't talked to him. But yeah, how come?
I talked to him a couple times, man. That dude is fucking killing it, man.
Yeah, I
I
know.
talked to him. He actually went to school for entrepreneurship for like four
Huh.
years. Like that's been his. He's like a business fucking mogul.
Yeah,
Oh
So
shit.
you guys could speak Norwegian too. You don't have to speak this stupid ass English language.
Yeah. We could be talking in
English
fucking
rules,
codes,
man.
man.
English rules.
Yeah.
Dude, my English is fucking slipping. Like you guys, you speak English every day, but I speak English once a week for 2 hours, you know? So,
Your
fucking
English is
different.
fine, man. Like we can understand fucking
No,
everything.
it's really good, man. Some people from other countries, it's hard, you know?
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Same thing with everything, you know, you gotta, like, I used to suck at school, but English I would be good at because I always into traveling and shit, so I figured, man, I gotta learn English.
Yeah, man, it's important to know.
Fuck yeah, man.
Dude, hey, Cable, have you ever been to any of like the Baltic countries like Lithuania, Latvia, or Estonia?
Have not been. Have not
Dude,
been. Not even
go to
feeling it.
Go to Lithuania.
Yeah?
Dude, some of the hottest women in the entire fucking planet. Dude, I have a couple friends that live there, and dude, it's cheap as fuck, and there's like nobody really goes there, but the girls are like amazing, man. It's the most
Is it?
underrated country in Europe.
Yeah? Like, so you spent some time there.
Yeah, a couple of my good friends lived there, and I stayed with them, and it was just like, holy guacamole.
And like, were the girls kind of like different? Like, or not really? Like, how was it?
Dude, they're just like, I don't know how to explain it, man. Like, I guess the girls that went to Sweden were probably a little bit hotter, but the feel of them, like, I don't know, Swedish and Norwegian girls have a kind of feel to them. They were more like Eastern European looking, but like flawless. Like, just flawless. That's the best way I can explain it. Like, when you look at a girl, you try to find one thing wrong with them, and it's like, nope. And then on the other side, everybody there's all depressed and shit. So you come in smiling, and they're like, oh, and they have like the most retarded accents too. They're like, really? So I just berate them for like fucking 60 minutes, then bring it back to my place and fuck them. I just make fun of how
Berating
they
someone.
talk. I just make fun of how they talk and say a couple words in Lithuanian that I know. Like to say like thank you is like labas. So I'm like labas, 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 labas. They're like,
Oh, fuck, man.
but dude,
Lithuanian girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually met a Lithuanian girl once. She went on me on an adventure, but I never fucked her though.
they're hot. I don't know why I brought that up. I was thinking about taking the trip this summer. We got to stop in Lithuania.
We'll do it, man.
Yeah, so you guys are planning a trip, huh?
Yeah, man.
Fuck yeah, man.
Tell me. Give it to me.
It's just we're gonna be the whole summer, man, just fucking around.
All right.
There's no plan, man. There's no plan. We're gonna meet up
Freedom.
for 3 months, just fuck around, go wherever we want to go.
Okay. So it's gonna start what, July?
June, probably.
Wait.
Yeah,
Soon.
no,
Good.
fucking yeah. We'll meet you in Greece, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah. I'll be in Greece and probably go like a bit of Europe travel after that. And then I'll probably go to Hawaii, hang out with Dustin after
Oh,
that.
cool.
And then
Yeah, Hawaii is amazing, man. It's my favorite place in the world, and
Really?
I haven't been
Best
to
place
a
in the
lot.
world.
I've been to like maybe like 30 countries, probably. Still my favorite.
Why?
That's one of the reasons why.
It's almost like a I would say it's like a spiritual thing, man. When I'm there, I feel like just the most connected with my spirituality, like with anything. Like I remember every time I go there, I just sit on the beach at night and watch the sunset and cry.
Really?
It feels. The thing about it is, it's so far away from everything. Like you have this deep down knowing that there's nothing. There's nothing, man, anywhere near you or anything. You're 3,000 miles away from anything, and that shit you just feel it. I can't explain it. And not to mention the beautiful beaches, beautiful weather, you know, cool culture and all this stuff.
Huh.
That's why I'm like Dustin, you fucking asshole.
Yeah,
I've never heard of
that's
I've
why
never heard of a
Dustin is
place
such a
described
bad
like that before.
motherfucker.
It's for me that is what it's like. I mean, my family will go there and they don't say that, but for me personally, there's really a feeling like that. There's nothing else in the entire world except this little island, you know?
Yeah.
Which I would imagine gets old after a while, but for a week or two, it's really cool.
Yeah, sweet.
Yeah. Hey, there was one thing I wanted to ask you, Cable.
Yeah, man.
Like with your freedom business and all,
Yeah.
you how is it going? You like fully living it right now? Like I know
Yeah.
Nick, for example, he has school and stuff, and at the
Yep.
same time is fucking killing it. But you, tell me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just fucking living the life, man.
Yeah.
I guess I
Yeah.
kind of am
So
too.
yeah. So I don't have school or anything like that. I don't have school or anything like that. I'm just like full business at the moment, which is great. But you know, I think like I'm definitely, you know, I'm making sales and, you know, I'm able to like support myself and all the rest of it. But I still feel like my business is really only just at the very beginning of where it can be. Like it can be so much better and so much bigger. And yeah, yeah. So that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Like I'm still in some ways, I'm still like cutting through the weeds. Like, you know what I mean? Like I haven't like totally got the path down yet, but that's pretty close.
So, man, I got the fucking Lakers shit in my ear, but give it a fucking second here. So, could you like,
Definitely going away.
is it going away?
No, it's not. I'll mute the microphone if you want, man.
No, Nick, don't do that. But anyways, Cable,
Yeah.
yeah. So about the freedom business, like how did in the beginning? Hello?
I'm right here, man. I can hear you.
Yeah, so you were SSM1 and
No, I was SSM2.
where?
Yeah.
Okay, I always thought you were SSM1.
No.
Anyways. Yeah. So how did you go about, like, you just fucking followed the program from day one, or
Yeah. Yeah, I
fucking
just
did it,
followed the
man?
process, you know. Just like
Yeah.
really kind of like you know, just did everything by the book that Tim was kind of like mapping out.
Yeah.
And you know, it was kind of a bit scary because I didn't really had no background in business or no background in computers or the internet or anything like that. But it's just kind of like, you know, just kind of like had some faith that it was going to work out.
Yeah.
And yeah, I just did it. You know, had some balls as well. Like I think
Yeah.
that's important.
Of course.
Yeah, that was it. Like there's no like I think once you're in SSM, there's no secret fucking thing.
No,
Like once
it's
you're
like,
there, it's all there.
yeah, you basically have all you need, and like fucking good video is Art Williams.
Yeah,
Fucking
man.
just do it speech.
That's my favorite shit of all time.
I listened to that today, the Selling the Dream on YouTube.
Dude, I like that one even better than the Just Do It one. To me, in that one when he says he's like the hardest person to convince himself to is that
Is
person
you,
in the mirror, and I was like, damn, dude, that shit is deep.
yeah.
Dude, and
I
after I listened to that, I started doing this, man. I thought I was before. I'm like, this would be too crazy to just do. I've thought about it, but then when R. Williams said that, he like almost gave me permission. It's like if I don't want to do shit now, I'll literally just have a mirror in my closet and I just go in and I look at myself and I just like talk to myself like a drill sergeant. I'm like, you're a little fucking bitch. You're a fucking pussy. You're a faggot. You know, and I just like yell at myself for like 10 minutes and my roommates are like, Nick, what's going on, man? Are you mad? And I'm like, no, I'm just fucking yelling at myself in the mirror. I know, dude, it works so good, man. Like at long term, only you can motivate yourself, man. We can't fucking give you a pep talk forever. You have to be able to motivate yourself, and you have to sell yourself and make yourself believe you can do it. Doesn't matter what
yeah,
other people say; it's not going to last forever.
So
I would agree.
you're full like yelling at yourself in the mirror.
Yeah, well, not yelling, but like like kind of like a drill sergeant, where it's like he's kind of talking louder, but he's not like screaming,
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
like you
it was
don't.
working.
Yeah, you don't think you could do better than this? I'm like, my favorite one is, why don't you just fucking quit, give up, and go home and go cry to your mom?
Ooh.
That's my favorite one. Why don't you just go home and fucking cry to your mom? And I'm like, I'm telling you, man, like, just fucking, like, full on shit. I'm like, why don't you just give up? Why don't you just go home? Why don't you just go back and fucking get a normal gay job like everybody else and fucking get a faggot ass wife and just sit around and don't do shit until you die? Like, this is the type of shit I say to myself, man.
Nick, you go fucking deep with
Yeah,
that
man, I'm
shit.
kind of crazy, but it works. That's the thing. Like, you figure out what works for yourself. That might not work for everybody,
Yeah.
but you
Yeah,
have to
that's
know what
true.
works for yourself.
Yeah.
It, man, just do whatever it takes, man. Like, if you want to yell at yourself in the mirror, fucking do it.
Yeah,
Whatever
man, I've been
works.
I've been thinking about making like I saw Tim Mack made a video about meetings, and I thought his was really good. And I was thinking about trying to make a video on like the best way to go about meetings, because I think like, all right, yeah, you can't really tell someone what to do in a meeting. You need the experience, but I think it's also would help massively if like guys first getting sales had somewhat idea of how to present, what to say, like some of the dynamics going on behind it. Because I remember my first ones, I didn't realize it, but these people were just basically like not hustling me bad, but they could
Frame
tell
controlling it.
they knew that I was fucking new. Like they could tell how to make sure you don't come across that way and
Yeah.
that type of stuff.
Yeah. I think that will definitely be a big part of SSM3. Yeah, definitely.
Because I think that is huge. But also at the end of the day, it's like talking to chicks. You can't tell someone how to do it. A meeting, something like a meeting, you just have to do it a lot yourself
Yeah.
to know how to do it, and that's it. There's nothing else to it.
At the
Yeah.
same
Yeah.
time, man, you could get a little like a little confidence by like maybe watching your video and just go, oh yeah, I have a trick there, so I can use it, and that way you'll appear a bit more confident or whatever
Yeah.
with as the pickup stuff.
Yeah, you can definitely like if you learn some shit, like you can definitely cut like the learning curve down. You get better a lot quicker.
Yeah,
Yeah, absolutely. I
Then
think
also like,
there's no substitute for yelling at yourself in the mirror though, you know.
no, it does not, dude.
definitely not.
Yeah, I've done some other weird shit when it comes to like business stuff. Like that's one thing. I try everything. I think
Yeah.
that's important too.
Yeah, whatever it takes.
Try anything once, honey.
Yeah. Dude, I had to tell you guys a story, man. It reminded me because this happened when I was down here in San Diego before. It was like, and this was in the fall, and me and my friends were out by these like couple. They having this like little party outside, and we're hanging out there,
Yeah.
and they have like these apartments. And the second floor of the apartment, there was like all these black people in there, man. There was like 10 black people in there. And my friend had like this fucking leftover chicken pizza. And we're just walking around like being retards, like talking to chicks and doing dumb shit. So I walk up the stairs and we go in this room and it's literally like the second floor, it's a total clear window, right? And there's
Yeah.
four black chicks like just shaking their ass out the window like this bouncing their ass. That's right. And they're just bouncing their ass out the window, and then there's like two black guys going like, "Oh yeah, nigga," and like playing rap music. And so we walk in there, and we're like just fucking around. And my friend has this chicken pizza, and he goes up to one of the chicks working, they're living there, and he's like, "You want some pizza?" And then she's like, "What's in it?" And he opens up, and she's like, "Is that chicken?"
Is
And
that
she's like,
chicken?
"Put that shit in the fridge."
Dude, I want to
I
see
just
some.
thought that story was so funny, man.
Because it's chicken and black people, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, man, it's like fucking it's no joke. I don't know how that is in Australia, man, but
Yeah, why is that? Like, black people just love fucking chicken, man.
Dude, I think I might have told Freddie this, but last weekend, like last Friday, went to this bonfire by the beach with my friends, and afterwards, like this bonfire was by the airport, which is kind of near the bad areas in LA, like Compton, Watts, those areas. And afterwards,
Right.
like, let's get something to eat. And I'm like, he's like, where? I'm like, just drive this way. And I didn't realize I told him to drive, tell him to drive right into these fucking bad areas. And so we stopped. And when we stop, I realized where the fuck we're at. We're gonna go to this KFC. I'm like, dude, you better lock your car, man. And it's like, in this area, there's only black people. There's nobody else. We just don't fucking fit in there. We walk in this KFC and they have bulletproof glass around the fucking cash register. In the
Really?
KFC, so like you gotta order your food and they put the bucket in like a bulletproof glass container and like move it around and you take it out just to get my chicken. And I'm like, dude, who goes in there like, nigga, give me fucking
Yo,
6 buckets of chicken or I'm gonna fucking kill you.
hey, dude, yo, Nick, nobody fucking ever quit that job. The 6 last employees got fucking shot in the face,
Yeah,
bitch.
man, I would not want that, man. And this one black chick, like, it was so typical of like a fucking bad area. This one chick got this like fat black lady got all this iced tea, and I tried it, and it was like the sweetest iced tea I've ever had. Like I took 3 sips and poured it out because it was too fucking sweet. It was like sweet tea, and then she's drinking it, and she goes up to the guy. She's like, "Hey, excuse me, excuse me." Like she didn't even say excuse me. She said, "Excuse me, excuse me. This tea ain't sweet enough. Can you give me some more sugar back there?" And the guy's like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" She's like, "It ain't sweet enough." And I couldn't even drink it. And I'm just like, dude, why the fuck did we stop here, man? We gotta get the fuck out, man. We just did not. And everybody's just looking at us like, they know we're not from around there, man.
They want to fucking stab you guys
Yeah, so
for
we
money.
got in the car, we fucking booked it out of there, man. I was like, God damn, dude, I gotta be careful. But I just love that shit, man. The chick's like, "Excuse me, excuse me." I'm like,
Excuse me.
what are you saying?
Excuse
But
me,
yeah, dude, it's
man.
no joke with the fried chicken stuff, man.
She ain't no house, nigga.
Yeah, ain't no fucking joke with that shit, man. Fried chicken and also sweet stuff, man. Like if in the U.S., I've had some friends who work at like restaurants, and
Yeah.
none of, I mean, this is what they tell me. None of them like having like a black family come in because they always ask for like a ton of refills on either lemonade or sweet tea, which is like the sweetest shit possible. And then when they eat their food, they eat half of it, and they tell them that something was wrong with it, so they're not gonna pay.
Oh,
They eat
dude.
it. They eat the whole thing, and they're like, you know what? That 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 burger wasn't cooked all the way. I ain't gonna pay for it. You fucking ate the whole thing, dude.
Yo, I before I went to go and get my computer, I started watching this movie with a couple of friends of mine. Just I
Yeah.
watched maybe 20 minutes. National Security with
Oh
Martin
shit, with
Lawrence.
Martin Lawrence, dude, I love that movie, man.
I'm gonna see that movie because the guy in the
Is that
movie,
that's
I
the one where
fucking
like he's a oh no, is that the one where he's allergic to the bees and the guy like
yeah,
the
that's
bee?
it. Fucking love that guy, man. And there's something so fucking cool about. I could never understand it, but like just being black, man. No fucking this is new, but
There's a charisma to it.
there's
That's what I say.
something to it, man. There's like just
Correct.
like eating your entire meal and saying this ain't good enough. That's just like you're just something about you, man. That's coming from Django Unchained times. Like, dude, I fucking love black guys, but unfortunately, we don't have that in Norway because we don't really have ever had any ghettos and shit like that. But there's just something to black guys, man.
The funniest shit, man, I don't know how it's like in Australia, it's probably like this in Norway, but if you
Yeah.
go out at night, like, I remember from when I first started going out, like about 2 years ago, when I first started going out ever, I would go to Hollywood Boulevard a lot because one of my friends who I go out with a lot lived there. And we just noticed this over like a year period, like 95 to 99% of guys who approach girls like in LA are black.
Huh.
Like if you go out and you see another guy approach a girl, like 90% of the time it's a black dude.
Right?
And the rest of the time it's like some really, really drunk white Asian Mexican guy. Like the Mexicans, I don't know why, like they always do this shit. Like girls walk by and they just go like, "Ooh, damn, girl," but they never say anything. They just like staring at it. And the black dudes are like, "Damn, girl, what's up? How you doing, girl? Damn, fool, what's up, little mama? And like all this shit, and you're like, everybody's like, "What the fuck?" The chick's like she's getting raped. But dude, it's a fact, man. We've like you said, if you look at shit over a long period of time,
Yeah.
like in Hollywood and in most parts of LA, like 90% of the dudes who actually approach chicks are black. So there's so many chicks getting fluxed by black dudes.
Huh.
So watch
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
You
that's
live
not
in LA,
really
man.
the
Your
same here.
girlfriend probably got fucked by a black dude.
What fucking difference does it make, man? Like, it's fucking, you're bringing down the whitest, man, because you're basically,
I'm just saying what I've seen, man. This is like from my experience living in LA, man.
yeah, they're bringing themselves down, man,
But here's the
because,
other thing, dude. When I went to Europe, the black
Mm.
people are totally different. I was when I went there, my mind was so fucking blown because like I don't want to say this. It may sound a little bit racist, but when I meet the black people in Europe, they were just
Mm.
normal.
Right.
Like I just
Where,
went
yeah,
there and they're just like, "Hey, what's up? How's it going?" Like the black people here have so much of like, "Oh, what's up, man?" Da, 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 like this hip hop culture stuff. And then over there,
yeah,
they're just like, "Oh, like you guys, like, oh, hey, what's going on?"
yeah, like,
It
they're,
fucked with my head for like months on end. I was like, "What is going on, dude?" Like,
really?
it's really just a cultural thing. It makes you realize, just a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I fuck, I wish, like, but we don't really have the ghetto types here, but I really wish we would have them because I watch fucking Ice Cube and National Security. I love those guys, man.
Dude, another thing too, all the fights are usually black people fighting too. Like last night, I saw four black dudes fighting when we went out.
They're fucking emotional.
I don't know, man. This sounds a bit racist now.
Yeah, but
I don't think it's
I
racist.
don't know.
It's
It's
just
like
from what I see, man. I fucking love hanging out with black dudes. I'm practically half black, man. So
if the entire world were to listen to this conversation, we would get a lot of crazy people telling us you're fucking racist. But bottom of your heart, you don't give a fuck, man. Like
yeah,
you're not a
man.
racist at all. So what difference does it make, man? Uh, there is a difference between like some black guys and some white guys. Like that's a good thing, right?
Yeah,
When you
it's
wanna
totally
you wanna
fine.
mix it up. You wanna mix it up a little. Like life or like TV and movies would be fucking boring without black guys. And like
Dude, it's just kind of true, man.
what?
It's kind of true.
Yeah. And like vice versa. If there were to be no white guys, it would be fucking boring for the black guys.
Deep. It's deep.
That good. Yeah, yeah,
See, this is what happens when we talk about Cable's life story.
yeah. Yeah.
Right into this.
Cable's life story to like movies would suck without black guys.
Yeah. This was a fucking funny podcast, man, because I missed both your pretty faces. I've been here all my fucking self in Norway with my iPhone and fucking earplugs. I can't see you guys. I was eating pizza, drinking a beer, got me all fucked up. I don't know what to do. I've been sober all weekend. This shit is crazy, man. I was probably off for about an hour, but then an hour in, I woke up a little bit.
You came back to
Now
us.
yeah, I came back to you. You fucking been killing me with the gay shit.
Let me ask you a
People,
question,
I
Cable,
feel
about
like we're holding back on you, man. I feel like we're
dude.
holding back on you with the gay shit because it's kind of like you're just throwing out all these massive softballs, and it's just like it'd be so easy to kind of like smack them over the fence. But it's just
Dude,
like, wow, like you, it's too easy and it's no fun, you know. I don't
uh,
want to do. I don't want to make you. I don't want to make you cry.
yeah, I would be fucking
yeah,
hitting grand slams on Freddie today if I didn't rip his asshole open so bad last week about his uncle. Dude, Cable, that's the only reason I didn't do that, man. Last weekend, I was fucking ripping Freddie apart about his uncle, man. It was almost sad. It was like beating a dead dog, you know. It was just,
Yeah,
I
stop
couldn't do it again, man. I couldn't do it again.
fucking stomping balls day in, day out, man. Yeah.
But yeah, Cable, I wanted to ask you, man. One thing I noticed, this something happened this weekend. So this week,
Yeah,
been starting eating like healthy food again. And I
yeah,
used to do it a lot, but I've just been lazy. I think I've been focusing too much on other things. And I noticed how good I was feeling all week, right? Just like
yeah,
good all the time. And then I came down here in San Diego on like Friday, and I just like I went out one night and I like drank a little bit. The next day, like for lunch, I just had like potato chips and a cookie, and like just shit all day. And then at night, like was the first time I was feeling like just like bad, you know. I was feeling like thinking weird shit, and I realized it was just because of what I ate. And I realized, whoa, man, that has a pretty big effect on you. Um, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that whole nutrition and eating healthy versus
yeah. I think it
these?
definitely has, like, it can definitely have a big effect on your mood. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely, and like
mood is
energy and
huge.
all the rest of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think like one or two meals isn't going to make a big difference, but if it gets to more than that, then it definitely does for me anyway. Um, and I know you guys talk about meditation a little as well. Like for
yeah,
me, if it's like the food and the meditation, then it's like things are good.
yeah. Those are the two
Like
biggest
those
things
two
for your
big
mood,
things.
probably. Yeah,
Yeah, and just also, I guess, on the mood thing, it's like just doing what I want to do and being disciplined with it as well, like really helps my mood. So if I'm kind of like, doing all my tasks every day and just, being disciplined with shit, that also really helps my mood.
yeah. One thing I notice helps too is if I like do one thing a day that I'm really afraid of.
Oh yeah?
Like before, I'll be like, oh, but then once I do it, it's just like, yeah, nigga. Like it always
Yeah.
changes, but like one thing where it's like, even just thinking about it makes you uncomfortable, where you're
So
like,
what kind of thing?
it could be anything, like, depends what it is for the day, It could be anything, whatever you're afraid of. Like, say, for business, say you have nothing to do and you're kind of done with the day, but you have an extra hour. Maybe like
Yeah,
walk into 5 businesses nearby and just tell them, about yourself. And me just thinking about that, I'm like, oh, I don't want to fucking, even though you're probably not going to get, the chance of you getting a business is kind of small, but just doing
yeah,
it because you're afraid of it afterwards, you do five
yeah,
of those, dude, I used to not like making the calls for the follow up on the DMs.
yeah,
So I would get these cashews. Like, say I had to make 5 or 10. I would lay
yeah,
out 5 or 10 cashews, and each call I'd eat one. And by the time I finished the 5 or 10, I would just be like, fuck yeah, man. Like doing that shit. Whereas, like,
yeah,
communicating with doing some emails, I'm not, it's discipline to do it, but I'm not really afraid of fucking doing it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's like, there's no rejection in an email,
Yeah.
but if you kind of like calling people up or going there in person, there is. Yeah. Yeah, I like that fear stuff. That's cool.
Doing one thing you're afraid of a day.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
could
So
be
what is,
like
so,
a small thing as well.
It could be, yeah, small, big, doesn't matter. Just make sure to do it each day.
Okay.
yeah. So, what time is it over there, Freddie?
It's almost 11 o'clock p.m.
Okay. So what's going to be your scary thing tomorrow?
Uh, what is
What are
gonna
you
be
going to do
scary
that you're
tomorrow?
afraid of?
Fucking hard to say, man. I can't think of anything.
Okay. Nick, do you have anything, Nick?
Oh, for tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was planning to go to this one community college by my house
Oh, yeah.
and do some, you know.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah, I
what?
know.
But I've never been there before, so it's kind of like a new place.
Yeah.
What are you planning to do, man?
Can't tell you, Freddie.
I miss your pretty face, man.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah,
For me, I got to make some phone calls. Don't really want to make them, but got to make them.
Do it.
but yeah, I wanna do like a couple of SSM videos. One about the meetings, and I want to do one. Like I just think this would be so badass for SSM3. Like I had a lot of leads come in last week, so like it's not really the top of my list because it's not it's not going to give me that much more business. It's like in terms of my what's prioritized, it's low. But when
Yeah,
I have time, I want to just go to like these two. I know there's two areas with a lot of businesses, and I want to
yeah,
bring my iPhone and put it in my little lapel pocket, and then just make a little intro beforehand, and then just a video of me going into like 10, 20 different places, and just compile it all into a footage thing, and like make the video as like, okay, you can learn SSM, but if you don't do this, you're not gonna fucking make it happen, like type thing, like a
yeah,
motivation of like, here's what it takes. An extreme example, but like
yeah,
just I want to picture me sitting in front of the fucking huge office, like big building, right? So I'm like talking about it until people see it, like, oh, that's a big corporate fucking place, and
yeah,
then
yeah,
in the lapel thing, walking in and put it all together. But I'll try and do it when I have time because it's not really the top of my priority list in terms of making me more sales.
yeah.
But maybe in the next couple of weeks.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, I think that'd be cool. Just to like, so guys see that shit and like, whoa, what the fuck, you did that, and just like take it to the next level.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can kind of see how it would be, like with the music and shit. Like you kind of like, yeah, yeah,
And just see me like see the reactions and shit and realize like it ain't a bad thing that people tell you to fuck off.
yeah, yeah.
I think that'd be funny as fuck. And then I also, yeah, maybe some other shit coming along, but I really liked your episode by episode video. It was like tune in for next time and you'll see what happens in episode 6. And it's like, oh, what's happening next week?
Yeah, I like that as well, man. Like building a little up to it.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, thanks, guys. Yeah, it was fun to do that.
Yeah, when I talked to Tim too, he gave me a good idea about sending out proposals. He said to make a screen flow video of the proposal and go over it with the like
Yeah,
so you send them the video and the proposal. And I've been
yeah,
doing that, and like people are like, oh shit, cool.
yeah,
Yeah, I did that once
yeah,
with a
yeah.
with a screen flow shit.
It's just another way to make it visual, like make what we do a little more visual, and also put your face on it as well, like so people can see that you're a real person and kind of like see that you're cool, and people it adds that element of buying you as well.
That was actually like the first when I was trying to get someone, or I was trying to make a website for someone for free to get like a
Yeah,
portfolio. I actually did the ScreenFlow thing and that was what got them to like, okay, do it for us. And yeah,
Dude, I want you to guys hold me accountable for something else too, man. A side project. I already asked my friend about it, but about 2 years ago, man, I actually made a rap album, right? Hold
really.
on, yeah, I made it in a week too. And I want to do it again, but I've been doing other shit. Like I feel like I've just been focusing too much in school and business. Like last quarter, I just got off spring break. I got like almost straight A's and
Nick,
doing good with my business. But I want to do like a personal project just for fun, for nothing. So
Yeah,
within a month from now, I want to have a full, the full album done again. I know the process and how to do it, but I want a little accountability with it because I'll just end up working too much and not actually focusing on it. I want to have more fun with what I'm doing. So little
let's play
accountability.
it.
all about making
Let's
the
play
music.
it on the podcast, man.
We will. What was that,
But
Cable?
Tell us about the process of making it. Like, how do you make it?
Here's what I do, man. And because before I lived far away from my school, so I would have to drive like an hour each way twice a week. Um, and on the way, it would get a little bit boring. It's kind of a long drive. I'd leave in the morning and come back late at night. And so what I did is I always liked rap music since I was like 14 or 15. And I downloaded like a big, like 100 different instrumentals,
Yeah,
just instrumental songs. And I would go through them one at a time. And because before, when I was like in high school and shit, me and my friends would just get drunk and like, smoke weed and freestyle rap and whatever, like just fuck around and talk about dumb shit and
yeah,
bitches and whatever. And so I would just, on the way back and home from school, I would put on these instrumentals and go one at a time and see if I liked the feel, try and rap over it. And if I liked it, I would write down the name of it or the song number. And if I didn't like it, I'd go to the next one. Because for
Yeah.
me, the most important thing is the actual music behind it that influences what you're gonna say and whatever. So then I ended up doing that for a week or two, an hour each way, and then I got 12 or 13 songs that I
Yeah.
liked. Then I got all those together, and then I used a microphone. I just got Audacity, and then kind of ran through each song and had a outline of how I was going to do it. Like, first verse is like this,
Yeah.
maybe there's already a chorus, or I make the chorus. Second verse is like this concept. Each thing had its own concept, and then the
Yeah.
rest would be freestyling around it. Then I would probably took me 4 or 5 recordings till I got one I liked on each track, and I would just do that for each one. Then I had the full thing, and that was it, man.
Yo,
Sweet.
Nick, could you do a little rap about my penis?
Yeah, I'll do it for you, man. Just send me the music for it, man. Dude, I tell you that I think that's so important. If the actual music and isn't right, you can't do it. The music really has to be right, and to me,
Well,
that's the
it's like
most
the
important
feel,
part. Yeah, it's the feel of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I want to
Yeah.
make another one, and it's gonna be like I'm gonna be honest with you, it's gonna be some really chilled out, like funky. Like it's gonna be funky, it's gonna be chilled out, and I'm gonna do a little bit of singing for the choruses, man.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
like
man, I
it.
already got the idea for it, but I just gotta make it happen, man. So
Yeah. So, a month, huh?
yeah, months.
Fuck,
I
I'm
like
looking
it.
forward to it, man.
Yeah,
I could never imagine you singing, but when I come to think about it, yeah, why not?
and the thing about it is like this things I really like doing it too. I don't know. I play guitar also. I'm I'm okay at doing that, but like I don't know when I'm doing the rapping and stuff, I really feel like really it just feels right, man. I feel there's a feeling about it that I just love doing it to do it. And I don't
Yeah.
have many things that are like that. There's maybe like 5 to 10 things that are like that. And I just like love just doing it, whether I'm alone, whether I'm with
Full flow
people,
state.
whatever. Yeah, it's just flow state. I just love fucking doing it. So and that was one of the things when I first started Freedom of Business. I had like a couple things of like I want to do this with, I
Yeah.
don't want to be a famous rapper or nothing, but I just want to do it.
Yeah.
Cool.
And that was on the list, like on the goal shower.
Yeah, man, there's actually a lot of shit on there that I think I've neglected and took for work.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of guys in SSM are kind of in that same boat where it's like we just want the fucking business to go so bad. Like some of the goals are kind of falling into you know
Yeah.
behind.
Yeah, I think it's really important to kind of like stay on top of that shit because it's like it's why we're doing this in a lot of ways, and you can kind of see how you become like an obsessed, boring business guy
Dude,
by
I
doing what we
totally,
do.
man.
Yeah,
Totally, I see that, man. It's ridiculous.
yeah,
Fuck
yeah.
it, man.
I like it,
Yeah,
man. Fucking get on it.
So yeah, that'll be coming off the. I'll have to post it in the forums or some shit, man. We'll put it on the podcast too and see what the fuck happens. But
Yeah, like intro music. So you just stick it up on Bandcamp or something like that.
yeah, one of the actual things they had on this list was like make a rap album and have 5,000 people listen to it, right? So fuck it, that'll be this one, man.
Do it.
fuck.
With the
Cool,
internet, it
man.
shouldn't be too hard. So
Yeah, with the internet and your marketing shit, like you can do it.
yeah, but yeah, that'll be fun as fuck. And then when you guys hear it, you'll be like, yeah. The thing about it is, it's like some of it's cool, some of it's serious, but it's all pretty fucking funny, man.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, of course, man.
yeah. It's kind of
Hey,
cool. It's kind of like Sorry, were you saying something, Freddie?
go on, Cable.
I was just gonna say it's kind of cool with those creative projects, like when you kind of like do something like that and like record it or film it or whatever, and then like other people hear it. It's like a full different side of yourself. Like it's a fully different side of yourself that you can kind of like put out there and like express, and you know you can see it afterwards, and it's just kind of like it's totally different, but at the same time, if like you've created it, it's also like totally you as well, and it's just it's to me, it's like the coolest and weirdest thing. It's like
Yeah,
you're opening up a new part of your personality.
But the other thing I love about it too is I just like the one thing that I felt about it is like if you don't talk about like actually the shit you do, it's not it doesn't feel good, it doesn't feel right. So I'm just talking about like meditating or like fucking traveling and all this kind of shit. And but it comes off at a tone that's still like a fucking rap tone. But it's like the content of it is what I do. It's not what all this other shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah,
So
if any of
guys,
you
I'm
guys want to
fucking
be in it, man, let me know and just shoot me a recording and I'll splice it in.
Do it.
coolest rap motherfucker. Yo, yo, yo.
There it goes, man.
Cut that shit up and put it in there, man.
Cool,
Yo,
man.
guys,
Yeah, I
I'm
think we should
fucking
wrap this up,
Beats.
man. It's
Uh,
fucking
uh,
getting long. It's a long time here.
yeah.
Yeah. All right.
But
Cool.
hey, fucking thanks for being on
Yeah,
Cable.
Cable,
Big
dude, thanks
up.
for telling that story, man. And I know it was pretty much monologuist for a while, but I enjoyed listening to it, man. I appreciate that.
Oh, yeah,
You're
me
welcome,
too,
man. I
man.
hope it came off all right.
Yeah, it did. It was funny. And I was curious about that stuff too.
Yeah. Cool.
So yeah, let's wrap
All
this
right.
motherfucker up.
Well,
Okay.
fucking, I'm looking
F.
forward to hearing everyone else's. Fucking Dustin, everyone in the future. I know that fucking Tim Mack and Luke are fucking keen to come on here. Maybe
Yeah,
you
Yeah.
guys should do a little tag team with those guys because they love each other.
it's him, mate. What's that motherfucker up to nowadays, man?
It's the same, man. Same. Like he's kind of like
Dude, he
doing.
seems like he just chills, man. Like he said, he's telling me that he doesn't even really do marketing. He just gets referrals. Like he just
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
chills all day, seems like.
He chills a lot. Like he's doing uni, and the business thing. He like moved into a house and got kicked out after like 2 days or something, and it's kind of he hasn't really explained exactly why that happened, but he's got a new house now, and I think he's got a little girlfriend as well, which is a bit embarrassing, but
A little fucking Japanese mama.
something like that, something like that. Yeah, we yeah, it's we kind of just gloss over that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for having me on. I had a good time. I liked it.
Loved you. We
See
love
you,
you,
see you
Cable.
soon, Cable.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
I think I went all right.